the first World Series game, you're a little nervous.
Sandra Santiago has sung our national anthem. She of Miami Vice, and U.S. Congressman Tip O'Neill has thrown out the first pitch. And all of the preliminaries are taken care of, and Lenny Dykstra. Take a look at him, Sparky. This is about as clean as you'll see him. For the rest of the night, he'll lead it off.
Well, he's a tough little guy, though. I really like him, and I can see why he's been such a good ball player for him.
Left-handed batter who hit .295 this year, facing the right-hander, Boyd. Dykstra has one hit in the World Series, 1 out of 6. And the first baseman, Bill Buckner, with a final word for Boyd, who now digs the trench in front of the pitching rubber. Third baseman Boggs already has come in very close, 2 steps in front of the base. Bill Buckner will be playing in tight. The second baseman cheats in, and we await the first pitch of Game 3. The outfielders are straight away. Dykstra will surprise you with his power occasionally. Into the windup goes Boyd, and the first pitch of the evening. And it is over but low, ball 1, according to Harry Wendelstedt. And swinging a high fly ball into right, maybe a home run. That ball is going to go into the seats and a 1-0 lead for the New York Mets. Dykstra, who hit 8 during the regular season, found the perfect spot right down the right field foul line. It's only 3:02 to the pole down there. He hit it better than that.
Oh, he hit that ball. That ball's not in any ballpark where he hit it, Jack. It's off the line maybe 40 feet, and that ball's out of any ballpark.
So a shocking start for the oil can, who was greased up by Dykstra, who took him out of the ballpark with a 1-1 count. And the Mets lead by the score of 1-0, and it's the first time they've had the lead in the World Series.
It's going to help them, too. They needed this, Jack, to be down 2 games and score right away.
I know, Sparky, you don't enjoy going down in the playing field before the games for a lot of reasons. But I was down in the New York dugout, and they appeared to be a good deal more relaxed, and now really the monkey is off of their back. Here's the first pitch to Backman. It's up in ball 1. They were expected to win the series, and the monkey was on their back. Now they're down 2-0, and as you say, they're playing with the other guy's chips.
They're playing with Boston's money now.
It is a ball 1 count to Backman as Boyd tries to get his first out, and Backman swings and misses. A good sinker ball, and it's 1-1. Boyd can hop around out there in the mound, can he?
Well, the guys all say they call him Showtime.
He looks like a chicken ready for plucking out there. The way he bounces around, looks like the farmer's chasing him out in the backyard. 1 ball, 1 strike to Backman. That was the count when Dykstra homered. And it is 1-0 New York. And frequently, for a fellow like Ojeda, a run of that sort would be enough, but perhaps not in this park. It's tough to throw a shutout here.
Tough to show a shutout here, Jack, but I'll tell you what, the way Ojeda's pitched this year, it wouldn't be unusual or surprising.
And now Boyd falls behind on the count, 2-1. And into the windup he goes. His pitch is up high, and it's ball 3. And this is the one fellow on the Mets that you don't want to walk. Not that he can't hit. He batted .320 during the year and has 2 hits in the series, but he is a prolific base stealer. He gets back in with a 3-1 count, and every once in a while he'll surprise you with some power. So Boyd is off to a rocky start. Instead of oil can, they'll call him Rocky. Here's the pitch. It's a strike called as he popped one in there, 3-2. It was a borderline pitch, and Backman took it. And Backman doesn't mind hitting with a 2-strike count. He can spoil bad pitches by fouling them off. Keith Hernandez is on deck. The next pitch coming on a 3-2 count and a swing and a line drive base hit into right. So after the Dykstra home run, a single by Backman as he lined it solidly into right field. And up comes Keith Hernandez, and the Mets are off and running.
They look loose tonight. I agree with you, Jack. I think now they've said, look, if we're down 2-0, let's prove how good we are and come back and whip them 4 straight.
And have some fun. That was the rallying cry you heard from one player to another down there. The batter is Keith Hernandez. 13 home runs, 83 runs batted in during the regular season. 1 hit in the series and 1 run batted in. And Gedman and Boyd will keep a close eye on the runner Backman. How is Boyd on the pickoff move?
Well, he's not bad. He'll get the ball to the plate fairly decent, and he goes over there pretty quick.
A lead by Backman being held by Buckner. And Hernandez waiting, hitting room up the middle. The pitch is over but low, ball 1. Hernandez with a terrific batting eye. Talking to him before the game, and he kind of thinks that he has a good stroke going. He's hit a few balls hard but out.
Yeah, he has hit the ball pretty good, but it's been right at people.
And he is 1 out of 7. No outs here in the first, and the Boston fans are quiet. A throw to first, and the runner Backman gets back in. Outfielders play Hernandez to pull just a bit. The infielder's looking for 2. You can get a double play with Hernandez running, but he doesn't hit the ball on the ground very often. There's room through the right side as Buckner holds against the runner. Boyd delivers, swing and a miss, and he didn't have a very good cut on that sinker ball.
No, there's the case. I think he was looking for that off-speed ball there. I think he was guessing a little bit.
1 ball, 1 strike. Hitters will tell you they never guess.
Well, them good ones guess. They're looking all the time.
1 ball, 1 strike. Dykstra is homered. Backman is singled. Time called by Backman as he smooths the base path.
Harry Windelstad is just an outstanding umpire, and I'll tell you what, you won't get much trouble with him. You won't see many arguments ever with him out back there.
He won't take much of an argument either.
Well, you don't have to because he knows he's good.
1 ball, 1 strike the count. A check on the runner. Here's the pitch from Boyd after a long look. He steps off and throws over, nothing doing. Later on in the broadcast, Sparky Anderson is going to tell you who the good umpires are in the American League and who the bad ones are.
Boy, I tell you,
they're going to do that?
There's 24 excellent.
A runner on with nobody out, and a run home for New York in the opening inning on a home run by Dykstra. Boyd checks Backman. The pitch, and they pitch out. Nothing shaking, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Not that Boyd is in danger of being lifted right here, but how far will McNamara go with his starter tonight?
He don't go too long. If the can don't have it early, he usually gets him out of there.
2 balls and a strike to count. He was behind Dykstra, who homered. He ran a 3-2 count to Backman, who singled. 2 balls and a strike to count to Hernandez. You pitch out of the strike zone, Hernandez won't swing. He'll let Gary Carter drive in the runs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul. Back here out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. A beautiful evening in Boston. It's 3:15 down the line in left. 379 in the power alley in left with a 37-foot high wall. Then 390 in center. Then 420 in center. 380 in right center. And then 302 down the line, and that's where Dykstra hit it. Now the crowd comes to life, trying to lend a little support to their starter. And Hernandez waits with a 2-2 count. A check on the runner, not going. The pitch swung on line drive, base hit, left center field. Backman will go on to third without a play. And it's 3 hits in a row as Hernandez singles into left center. First and third and nobody out, and a chance for a big inning for the New York Mets.
Yeah, Oilkin's walking around a little bit with his glove off. I think he's a little shocked.
Well, the Mets had but 4 hits in the first game. Then they had 8 in the second game, and they left 9 runners. There's the conference on the mound. There's nothing doing in the Boston bullpen. And now here comes Mr. McNamara to see if he can settle his starter. And the one thing that would really help the Bostonians would be the double play, even though it would cost them a run.
I think, Jack, something's very important, what you said in the first 2 games in New York, when you take the fans out of it, and I think right now what the Mets are trying to do is take the fans right out of this action.
They're ahead 1-0 on the home run by Dykstra, a follow-up single by Backman, a first and third single by Hernandez. The batter is Gary Carter. And this, it would appear to me, just watching Boyd pitch in person for the first time, is where he is at a disadvantage because of his inability to blow people away and get the strikeout when he needs it.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, if he's not getting you out with that changeup, he's not fast enough to be able to throw the ball by you.
Well, Gary Carter could make it 2-0, 3-0, or 4-0. But you have to remember, you never have enough in this ballpark.
You never have enough here, Jack. I don't care who's pitching, you never feel safe.
First and third with nobody out. Carter's the batter. He's 2 for 8 in the series. Off the stretch. Here's the pitch. A swing and a foul. Strike 1. As he kept the ball in on him, Hernandez is not a threat to steal a base. And Boyd is ahead of this hitter with Darryl Strawberry on deck. Still nobody out. The only out pitch thrown tonight was by Tip O'Neill about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, he might have had the best fastball.
Boyd checks the runners at first and third. The pitch coming. Carter swings on a line drive into left center. Is a base hit. Another run is home. It's 2-0. Good play by the center fielder. Gets it back in, but a double for Carter. And it is 2-0. Second and third, and nobody out, and 4 hits in a row.
The Cam's really walking around dejected right now. He says, boy, I pitched the 4 guys and hit for a rope.
Can't quarrel with any of the hits.
No, all bullets. All 4 bullets.
Carter knocked one into left center. It was a good play by Henderson. The other run would have scored had he not picked it cleanly off the wall. The batter is Strawberry. They have a base open, and Ray Knight hits behind him, and they go to work in the Boston bullpen. Mr. Boyd has found a void here in the opening inning.
It looks like he's got Stewart up right away.
Second and third, and nobody out. And the right-hander, Stewart, is warming up. The infielders play back as the batter is Strawberry, and they're going to pitch to him. I know a lot of managers who would just put him on in a spot like this. Strawberry looking for his first World Series hit. Off the stretch, Boyd, his pitch, and a strike is called. He gets ahead. Kept it away from Strawberry, who put on a show in batting practice.
Boy, he had 7 out of 10 balls, Jack, and I mean to tell you, every one of them was hit like a bullet out of here.
And he hit it on all portions of the park. Left center, dead center field, and way out into right field. Next pitch, a swing and a miss, and a high, hard one, and that's strike 2. Strawberry topped 27 home runs this year. And Boyd could use the strikeout or 2. The score is 2-0 New York here in the opening inning. On an 0-2 count, the pitch. Strike! Whoa, I thought Clendeset was going to start up with that right hand. He did and held up, and it's ball 1.
Ball must have been inside.
1 ball, 2 strikes. And Strawberry had a lot of nerve to take that pitch. And that looked like a strike, Sparky. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Next pitch coming. Swing and a foul as it pops off the glove of Gedman. A home run by Dykstra, a single by Beckman, a base hit by Hernandez, an RBI double by Carter. And the outfielders a little to the right and deep in all fields as Strawberry bats. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. And the pitch. Swing and a foul as he went out after it and fouled it back to the screen. Strawberry, when he's looking for a pitch away, can really hurt you in that direction.
He showed me in bad practice tonight. He shot him up on the screen out by the tower by the 379 mark, just like there's nothing to it.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Ray Knight waiting on deck. Off the stretch is Boyd. And the pitch, and it's low. I would imagine that a manager hesitates before giving an intentional walk, more so in this park than he would elsewhere.
It's tough, Jack, here because you got a right-hander Knight coming up, and he just pops the ball up in the air, and you got 4 runs.
2-2 to Strawberry. Boyd with another pitch, and it missed outside. That ball was outside, and it's 3-2. The crowd howled a little bit. They have the base open, and Boyd doesn't have to give in to the batter. Full count results, 3-2. Hernandez at third, Carter at second, nobody out. 2 runs home, and the Mets leading here in the first. Bob Ojita's going to have to warm up again. Strawberry steps out. 3-2 the count. Now the center fielder, Henderson, is even deeper. Boyd is ready, and his 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a breaking ball. Now that's the first out accomplished by Boyd.
You know, Strawberry, the one thing I've noticed, he strikes out so many times, and he's got such great tools. I think that once he starts to really mature with the bat, starts making more contact, he's going to be an outstanding player, but he just can't strike out that much.
All he has to do is meet the ball and it'll go.
He's so quick with his hands.
Now Ray Knight becomes the key hitter. I say the key hitter because just a fly ball would add to the New York lead. The batter is Knight with Heap on deck. Second and third, one out. Buckner's in tight now at first. He would have a play at the plate if the ball is hit to him. Knight takes a strike call on the outside part. Boyd got a hard slider over that time. He has made some pitches here in the opening inning.
Yeah,
Numerous pitches.
He's made some pitches, a lot of pitches. Not too many of them got through to the catcher, though.
Gedman gives the sign. They play straight away for Knight. Here is the pitch. Swing and a ground ball to third. The runner trying to score. He'll be out. The throw home, they have him hung up. And the throw back, they have two runners at third. Now they haven't tagged anybody. All the runners are alive, and the bases are loaded, and they really messed it up. The bases are loaded, and only one out in the inning. Boy, did they botch that one up. They never tagged anybody. They had two runners at third base, and it was the catcher, Gedman, who messed it up most of all. And all he had to do was run to third and tag the runner.
Yeah, what he should have done is just take him all the way back. Two runners are there, and then just tag him. Once the two runners got to third, he's got to take him all the way back.
Hernandez got caught in the rundown. The play went 5-2, 5-6, and they never got anybody. Finally, a late toss to the second baseman, and we'll see if that cost Boston. Brother, did they mess that one up? It should be runners out at first and third and two out, but the bases are loaded and one out. And the batter is Danny Heath. And the Red Sox need the double play. The pitch, it is a strike call and a slider.
If things go according to how they normally do after that, this guy unloads one for a grand slam.
He hit 5 home runs during the year. He's the designated hitter tonight, and he's not a fast runner. Outfielders deep straight away. The infielders looking for two. The pitch from Boyd, and a swing and a hit into right center. And two more runs will score. Carter crosses the plate, and that makes it 4-0 on a base hit to right by Danny Heath. And so the defensive lapse on the part of the Red Sox has really cost them here in the first inning. Although that hit would have driven in one run, instead it drives in two. The other runner stopped at second base. That's Ray Knight. And it continues with Mookie Wilson at the plate.
And this thing isn't over yet. Now you still only got one out, your first and second. The party isn't over yet.
And that is the 5th hit of the inning against Dennis Boyd. And every one has been a line drive.
Every one has been what they call a clothesline.
First and second and one out. Infielders play at their normal position. Wilson, a switch hitter, batting left, takes a strike on the outside corner. And I'll bet Boyd has thrown 30 pitches here in the opening inning. Ray Knight tapped the ball to Boggs. He played it well, gave it to the catcher right away. That's what he's supposed to do. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss by Wilson as he threw it by him. And then strike two. But then Gedman gave the ball back to Boggs too late. That allowed Hernandez to return to third. They had Carter hung up, but he got back to second base. Boston still trying to get out of this first inning. Here's the pitch from Boyd, and Wilson strikes out on a ball up and in, and the second strikeout of the inning for the pitcher Boyd, who slams the ball into the glove and will now face Rafael Santana. 4 runs are across for Bob Ojeda. That's a lot of runs for him to get early.
Ooh, I tell you, boy, 2.5 something run average, and you got 4 runs in the first already. You're in pretty good shape.
One thing about Ojeda is he'll make you hit the ball. He won't walk many. First and second and 2 out. They stay loose out in the Boston bullpen. And Boyd is on the ropes. The pitch to Santana, a strike call on the outside corner. If he doesn't get Santana out, Boyd is out. You can bet on that. The on-deck batter is Dykstra, who started with a home run. Santana up on the bat handle a bit. He's 2 for 6 in the series. Swinging a ground ball. Good play by Boggs. Force out at second, and the inning is over. Boggs went to his left, speared the ball, and gave it to Barrett for the force out, and the Mets have more runs here in the first inning than they had in either of the first 2 games. They made 4 runs on 5 hits. At best, they should have had 3 runs. There were 2 men left. Bob Ojeda goes to the mound. And after 1/2 inning, the New York Mets 4, Boston Red Sox 0. The bottom of the first inning, Bob Ojeda is on the mound. His catcher is Gary Carter. Ray Knight at third, Rafael Santana at short. The second baseman is Wally Backman. Keith Hernandez at first. It's Wilson in left, Dykstra in center, and Strawberry in right. 4-0 New York after 1/2 inning. Greetings to all of you across the country enjoying the 1986 World Series on CBS Radio. And to those of you around the world tuning us in on Armed Forces Radio. This broadcast is presented by the CBS Radio Network and by authority of Major League Baseball. It may not be reproduced without the express written consent of Major League Baseball. The batter is Wade Boggs to lead it off against Ojeda. Ojeda 18-5 on the year, an earned run average of 2.57, 7 complete games, 2 shutouts. And he worked in this ballpark for the Red Sox last year. Started with Boston in 1981. The pitch to Boggs. And it missed it low, ball 1. On the top of the first, Boston simply gave the New York Mets an additional run. Here's the pitch, swing and a bouncer back to the pitcher. He made a good play and throws for the out as Boggs hit it back to the mound. It turns out Boggs threw to the catcher, Gedman. Gedman held the ball a little too long before he threw it to Spike Owen, the shortstop who was covering third. And then Owen tried to chase Carter, but Carter was long gone back towards second base. It was good base running by Keith Hernandez, first of all, to allow the runners to move along. Carter had come all the way over to third. But then Owen held the ball too long. And that misplay cost Boston a run. And it's 4-0 New York, and the batter is Marty Barrett, batting with 1 out. Ojeda delivers and caught the outside corner, strike 1 as he turned the ball over a little bit, and Barrett looks back at the umpire and says, "Sir, you're not going to call that pitch a strike all night, are you?"
I would suggest he doesn't look back at Harry too often.
1 out and nobody on for Boston. Swinging a ball up the middle, and Ojeda is playing Pepper. He caught that one, and he threw him out, and they're 2 gone. I noticed one thing about the Red Sox. Neither one of those batters tried to pull the ball against Ojeda. That's what he wants you to do.
Yeah, they're going to try to go right back up the middle with him. Occasionally, the big guys might try to jerk one of those couple men on.
The batter is Bill Buckner. The left-handed hitting first baseman has 3 hits and a run batted in the series. Ojeda has retired the first 2. O-J-E-D-A, Bob Ojeda. He's from California. Joined the Red Sox in 81. Spent a lot of time in the bullpen before he became a starter. Was traded over to the Mets, Calvin Giraldi on the other half of that trade. And the Mets have loved him. His pitch is a fastball strike. He's not bothered by the circumstance.
No, he's a good pitcher. I always liked him when he was over here, and I tell you what, he's no better. The record speaks for itself. He's a good pitcher.
And he won a game in the playoff against Houston after winning 18 during the regular season for the Mets. Buckner waits. Here it is, and it's a breaking ball. Buckner bailed out. It stayed high, and it's 1-1. They still have the manually operated scoreboard on the left center field.
Oh, they're not going to change nothing in this little ballpark. They keep it nice and convenient.
Ojeda brings it into Buckner. Swing and a high fly ball into the right field corner. That ball hangs up for Strawberry. He'll make the catch, and down go the Boston Red Sox. 1, 2, 3. We have played 1 inning. Mets lead 4-0. Dennis Boyd will try to do better in the second inning. Mets leading 4-0.
You said he's going to try to do better, Jack. I'd suggest he does better real quickly.
With old baseball bromide, where the pitcher's getting racked around in the first inning, the manager comes out and says to the catcher, Does he have good stuff? The catcher says.
He says, I don't know. I don't ever catch any. And that's what's happening here.
Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Hear all the action between the Mets and the Red Sox on the official radio station of the 1986 World Series, WTIC 1080 Hartford.
We wait for Bill Buckner to get to his position, and we wait for Dykstra to step in. Lenny Dykstra. He started this game with a home run into right. Down the line and pretty well back into the seats. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Boyd. And it'd be just like Dykstra to bunt the ball now. Here's the pitch. He took a strike. We're around to the top of the order. Dykstra, Backman, and Hernandez. Next pitch. Strike. Good fastball. Strike 2 call. Boyd is from Meridian, Mississippi, and played at Jackson State. The former Cardinal pitcher, Scipio Spinks, is baseball coach at Jackson State. Here's the pitch. Dykstra took it high. I know why you remember Scipio Spinks. He tried to run over Johnny Bench at home plate in Cincinnati one night.
Came to a complete halt.
It didn't work.
Home, slid, and stopped there and broke his leg.
The count is 1-2 to Dykstra. Swinging a ground ball to second. Barrett gets a big hop, and the throw, he's out. Well, this inning starts a little differently than the first. And the batter is Wally Backman. He singled and scored in the first.
I wonder what my old buddy George Caldwell and Swift in Arkansas is thinking of, Jack, that old Hall of Famer.
He sat up here in this seat many times, hasn't he?
Oh, my goodness. And he says he always talks about how he peppered this wall.
Was he a good hitter?
He was a good player. If he made the Hall of Fame, Jack. Woo.
Here's the windup by Boyd and the pitch to Backman. That's up high, ball one. Boyd, a slender right-hander. Pitching to Backman with Hernandez on deck. Third baseman Boggs plays in. Backman likes to bunt. The pitch, swing and a foul. A lot of times, some hitters who are good runners and good bunters won't bunt whenever the first baseman, second baseman, or first baseman cheat in. But the really good ones will still bunt the ball.
Absolutely, because they can deaden it so well. But I think they like to show you that they can drop it right in between you.
And make you hurry the play and keep you playing in there. Here's the pitch to Backman. Strike called. And now Backman is in the hole 1-2 as Boyd nailed the outside corner. 4-0 New York here in the second inning. In the first inning, a home run by Dykstra, single by Backman, single by Hernandez, double by Carter, RBI single by Heath. And they left 2. Boyd's delivery is a strike call, and he struck him out. Get that big hook over. Backman didn't like the call, evidently. That is the third strikeout for Boyd. That's a real downer, isn't it?
He's got a real good curveball, good change, and if he gets his fastball in and out, doesn't get in the middle of the plate, he's all right.
He calls that his yellow hammer.
Pretty good hammer.
It's a big hook. It's not the offspring of a slider or anything sidearm. It's right over the top and a big downer like Bob Feller used to throw.
It's the old-fashioned drop, as Dresden used to say.
With 2 out, Hernandez bats. He singled and scored in the opening inning. Driving the ball to the opposite field, and there's strike 1 from Boyd. You can never discount the jitters in a situation like this.
Absolutely not. That's why Gooden and Clemens and Darling, those young guys, first time out.
Hernandez batting with 2 out. Full windup by the Boston hurler. And a bouncing ball to Buckner. The pitcher covers and out at first. Boyd got over there a little bit off step, but did a little tap dance and stepped on the base for the out. And he set New York down 1-2-3, and he gets a rousing hand from the fans behind the dugout. Buckner to Boyd covering. Down in order, the New York Mets after an inning and a half. 4-0, New York. Rice stands in, wears number 14. Outfielders deep around to the left. Here's the pitch. Low and away, ball one from Ojeda. Another from the lefty. And it's low, that's ball two. Ojeda is a very business-like pitcher. He doesn't waste any time or motion out there on the mound. A smooth-working left-hander, the third baseman, Knight deep behind the base. The pitch. Swing and a high fly ball foul out of play. Rice doesn't take very often.
Very seldom. And if he gets the ball he thinks he can handle, he goes to hack it.
2 balls and a strike to count. New York leading 4-0. They made 4 runs and 5 hits and left 2 in the first inning. Ojeda brings it up and in, and it's ball 3. Well, that's the one thing you don't want to do. Sometimes you're better off just letting the guy swing away, even if he hits it out of the park, rather than walking that leadoff man. Rice doesn't take very often. He took a strike on the outside corner, and it's 3-2. Rice belted 20 home runs during the regular season. The 3-2 pitch. Swing and a foul. He just got a piece of that one and sent it back into the press box. He sailed into the press box and back out again. And the full count remains. You can't get over the weather we're enjoying here in Boston. Here's the pitch. He always struck him out on the outside corner. Rice started to swing, held up, thought it was ball 4. Says nothing, but gives the umpire a look, and that's the first strikeout for Ojeda. Tough pitch to hit, I know that, Sparky.
Yeah, they're a little hard to hit, those pitches, if they catch you right on the black.
Batter is Don Baylor, hitting for the first time in the series. And the first pitch is ball 1. Baylor, the stocky right-handed batter who hit 31 home runs this year. Batted .238. You have to watch out down the left field foul line when he's hitting. Swinging a foul back to the right and out of play. Ojeda doesn't groove the ball very often. The ball's always moving, running. He's way in, way out.
That's why he wins 18 games, Jack. They don't get that ball in what they call the middle of the plate.
1-1 the count. They play Baylor to pull. Ojeda waits for the batter to get set. Now they want to check the baseball. And Harry Wendelstedt keeps it in play. They play Baylor as a ranked full hitter with Knight on the line and Santana toward the hole. Next pitch. And a ball. 2-1. The on-deck batter is Dwight Evans. And Boston looking for their first base runner. Baylor right on top of the plate. The ball sinks low, and it's 3-1. He was 3-1 on Rice, came back and struck him out. And he's 3-1 on this batter. New York leading 4-0, bottom of the second. Here's the pitch from Ojeda. Swing and a long one to the left, way up at the top of the wall, and up against the top of the wall for a double. Baylor into second base with 2 men out, the first Boston hit. And he missed a home run by about 5 feet. He's down at second base with 1 out.
See, now there's a ball to home run in most ballparks. But here, because of that high fence, he didn't get a chance to get up. But Baylor benefits more times by hitting balls off the end and on the fist to get up there than losing a home run here.
We're about 5 or 6 feet below the top of the wall, right?
Yeah, but he hit the ball very good.
That's the first Boston hit, the first runner. The batter is Dwight Evans. And Ojeda delivers. Evans hits it up the middle to the shortstop, Santana. Gloves it cleanly and throws him out. 2 gone. Rice struck out. Baylor doubled. Evans left him there by grounding to short. And it's up to Rich Gedman, left-handed hitter against the left-handed pitcher.
I'll tell you one thing that I noticed about Ojeda when he was over here in the American League, left-handers did not bother him. He got left-handers out extremely well.
There are a lot of left-handed pitchers who just don't take care of the left-handed batters as they should, but he has stuff to get him. Gedman the batter. Watches one sink low. Gedman has had 1 hit in the series, 1 out of 9. And the outfield plays him a little to the opposite field. I figure he won't pull this hurler. Baylor at second base. I'll say this for Baylor: when he hit the ball, he never stopped running. He didn't assume it was going to be out.
No, and he knows that he better run fast because that ball's going to be off of that wall and into the left fielder's hands quick.
Baylor has his lead. And the pitch. Swing and a foul back here. 1-1 to Rich Gedman. He had 16 home runs this season.
He'll hit balls in left center field here out, especially the ball up. He can hit out any place in this park.
The hits now. Mets 5 and the Red Sox 1. And the Mets leading 4-0 in the second inning. Baylor a short lead. Gedman takes it low again. Ball 2. The on-deck batter is Henderson. Ojeda nods yes. Kicks and fires. Fastball fouled back to the screen. 2-2, and he challenged the batter.
Challenged him and come right through there. He's had 4 runs and 2 outs, and he says he's going to make him hit the ball.
Rice struck out on a borderline pitch, and Baylor doubled. And Evans grounded out. Two balls, 2 strikes to count to Gedman. Next delivery. Strike call. He slipped a fastball past him over the outside corner and struck him out. Second strikeout for Ojeda. And Gedman was caught looking. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 left. We played 2 innings. First up will be Gary Carter in the third. After 2, it is New York 4, Boston nothing. We'll be back in just a moment. Third inning, 4-0 New York. Throughout the season, the Sears Batter Up Sweepstakes contest has been a regular feature in all of our Game of the Week broadcasts and the All-Star Game. Happy to announce that the grand prize winners of the Sears Batter Up Sweepstakes and recipients of a trip to the World Series are Alda Thompson of Connellsville, Pennsylvania, Billy Ray Adams of Chapin, South Carolina, Lois Dahl of White Bear Lake, Minnesota, and they enjoyed the first 2 games of the series at Shea Stadium. Gary Carter leads it off. Doubled into left center and drove in a run in the first. And then he crossed the plate. Strike called from Boyd, who is now retired 5 in a row. Dennis Boyd on the hill. His next one to Carter. Swing and a pop fly into short center coming on Henderson. He's there. He has it 1 out. That's 6 in a row retired by the Boston hurler. That one didn't sound too good when he hit it.
Now that's what you call getting it right on the hand.
No, stop.
And there is 1 out. Batter Darryl Strawberry, a strikeout victim his first time. Strawberry is 0 for 7 in the World Series. There's a strike. To repeat, he really put on a show during batting practice. The pitch. Strike called inside corner. Strawberry jumps back, and it's strike 2.
You know, Jack, he's having some problems with hitting, but you have to remember one thing. They're making great pitches on him, too.
Those last 2 were tough. First out, then in, next pitch in the dirt. Ball 1, 1-2. Carter's fly to center. Strawberry is up, and Knight waiting on deck. Boyd has the sign from Gedman. Brings it. Swing and a high fly ball foul into left. Very little room to chase foul balls for the outfielders here. And not much room for the first baseman, third baseman, or catcher.
Well, when you get over the line, there's quite a bit of room. There's about 3 inches before you hit the stands.
Capacity crowd, of course. The pitch coming. Strawberry swings and hits it foul into the Boston dugout. And that keeps it 1-2. They have 55,000 plus for each of the games at Shea Stadium. 33,000 plus here tonight. Boyd to Strawberry. Swinging a long one into right center field. Henderson will get this one. Back near the track. Has it for the out. And there are 2 gone. Sinking line drive into right center.
I tell you, watching that Strawberry, Jack, I really believe that kid one of these days is going to wake up and hit 50 home runs a year. He's got those fast hands.
He kind of stopped that swing, didn't he?
Yeah, but his hands are so fast. He's just going to end up one day hitting 50 on them.
The batter is Ray Knight. He reached on a fielder's choice this first time. Bounced the ball to third. And Boyd has set down 7 in a row. First pitch is low to Knight. Knight had 11 home runs this year, most of them early in the season, and he is looking for his first World Series hit. He's 0 for 3. Swinging a foul on a late swing. 1 ball, 1 strike. Boston in their third inning will have Henderson, Owen, and around to the top of the order, Boggs. They are employing the designated hitter here tonight. Knight swings, pops it up behind the second base position, and it's called for by Barrett, and he has it for the out, and that's 8 in a row for Dennis Boyd. Well, the first inning really cost him a home run, 4 other hits, and a total of 4 runs for New York. And after 2 1/2 innings, New York 4, Boston nothing.
The 10 best cars in the world.
Bottom of the third.
Well, I'm getting so good at these, I might just take these all my life.
That's right.
There's only one thing I don't want to do, and don't try to threaten me no more with that play-by-play stuff, because I jump right out of this booth.
Dave Henderson will lead it off. Henderson has had 5 hits, more than anybody else in the World Series. 5 out of 9. Right-handed batter, left-handed pitcher. Ball 1 outside. Bottom of the third, 4-0 New York. They've out-hit Boston 5-1. Baylor has the only Boston hit, a double. He was left on. Henderson clunks it foul off to the right side, 1-1.
This guy really knows how to take off. He takes off and puts on, and he's got 2 of the changeups. He throws one a little harder and then backs off of that one.
The Red Sox have spotted the New Yorkers 4 runs in this game. But we have learned from the most recent playoffs that these games don't end early. There's a line drive, base hit. That guy's something into left field. Mookie Wilson makes a good play and holds him to a long single. Henderson has his 6th hit. He is 6 out of 10 and a leadoff hit, and he hits the ball hard when he hits it.
Very strong. He's having a great series, and he had a big hit in that playoff. That home run got him going.
Up to pull the ball against Ojeda, but he waited, and then he yanked it into left. And it brings up Spike Owen. Owen's had 2 hits plus 3 walks. Light-hitting shortstop ordinarily. He's a switch hitter, batting right-handed. And there's hitting room through the right side, and he showed the bunt and took a ball. The catcher Carter looks at Wendelset and says, "Didn't he offer it that?" Ball 1. This is the first time that Boston has had their leadoff man on base. Hitting room through the right side. And really, that's the way Owen should be going against a fellow like Ojeda. Lead by Henderson. The pitch. It's up high. That's ball 2. The on-deck hitter is Boggs. Boy, it makes a difference when the pitcher doesn't bat.
Yeah, it makes a big difference, but I still won't buy it.
You don't like the DH?
I never have, and I never will, and they get very mad at me in the American League talking about it.
2 balls, no strikes to count. Here's the pitch to Owen. And a strike called over the outside corner. Ojeda seldom makes that fat pitch. Leadoff hit by Dave Henderson. Here in the bottom of the third. Next pitch coming. And a strike on the outside corner.
The players have a term for guys like this. They call him the artist, the painter, they say.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Well, if Owen was thinking about going the other way, he passed up 2 pretty good pitches.
That was really a good pitch for him. He turned the ball over, changed up.
Now Ojeda might try to come in on the batter as he looks for the double play ball. The pitch to Spike Owen. Swing and a line drive to the third baseman. Throw across the diamond, not in time, and 1 out. Owen hit a soft liner, if you will, to the third baseman, Ray Knight. 1 out.
Threw him an off-speed pitch, and he swung at it like that in slow motion.
Boggs hit one sharply back to the pitcher his first time. He'll try for that hole down at the right side, won't he?
No, I'll tell you the truth. In this ballpark, he tries to hit every ball off of that screen over there.
Here's the pitch. Inside to Wade Boggs. Boggs has had 2 out of 9, and you know that he's going to do better than that. Watching him in batting practice, his stroke was made for that left field wall.
Oh, he just hits wood out there all day long.
Next one to Boggs is over but low. Ball 2. And the on-deck hitter is Barrett. 4-0 in favor of New York. Bottom of the third. 1 on, 1 out. Buckner is holding against... Hernandez holding against Henderson. Inside to Boggs. Ball 3.
Like you said, Jack, one thing you don't want to do in this park is walk people. Base hits, you're going to give up, but don't walk people.
3-0, and Boggs will take a pitch. Strike, 3-1. Ojeda doesn't walk many. He can throw a strike when he has to. Lead by the runner, Henderson. He's at first, 1 out, and a throw over there by Ojeda. He does not have a good pickoff move. The Boston club doesn't run much. They hate to lose base runners in this park. They like to pound away. 3-1 in the count. The pitch. Ball 4, low and away, and he walked it. Boggs gets the first walk given up by the New York hurler, and Marty Barrett is the batter. Barrett hit one back to the pitcher his first time up. He could put Boston on the board and could put them right back in the game. 2 on and 1 out. Now Barrett can go the other way with the ball. The pitch is low, ball 1. All right, Sparky, he will go to right field.
Try to go to right, but I tell you, I've seen him in this situation, Jack, here. Look for one ball inside and try to hit that fly ball up in the screen. He will try to do that in this ballpark.
The screen looks so friendly to these hitters. Boston really handled left-handed pitchers in this park this year. They won 27 and lost 14 against Southpaw. Here's the pitch. Strike called as Ojeda slipped one on the outside part down around the knees. 2 on, 1 out. Runner at second, Henderson. Boggs at first. 1 out. Next pitch, Barrett. Swing and a ground ball, base hit right side. Here comes Henderson. They have a play. The throw home is poor, and it's a run for Boston. RBI single through the right side by Barrett, driving home Henderson with the first Red Sox run, and more than that, it brings the tying run to the plate just like that.
Yeah, in a case like this, they just hope one thing, if Buckner doesn't hit the double play to get right up there.
Buckner, the batter, tried to right his first time, and a trip to the mound for Dave Johnson to talk to his hurler. He doesn't want this lead to slip away. Barrett was really smart the way he approached that at-bat.
That's the way he does, Jack. I tell you, he's like Stanky. He's a player just like that. He's the manager's dream is what he is.
He found the hole. He didn't clear it by much, but he got it between Backman and Hernandez. Strawberry had a half a shot at the runner at the plate, but his throw really didn't have much steam on it, and it was off target. And the other runner, Boggs, stopped at second, and you look at the fashion in which Boggs reached base.
Can't walk a person.
Single by Henderson. Owen lined out. Boggs walked. Barrett singled. The crowd is howling. The batter is Buckner. The conference is over on the mound. There's nothing doing in the New York bullpen. As the Red Sox try to climb back into this one. They already lead 2-0 in this series. Buckner is the batter. He hit 18 home runs this year. The pitch. A strike, a breaking ball. Buckner hobbled with 2 bad feet. Not a good runner at all these days. And a real candidate for a double play. Hernandez is very deep at first. Ojeda gets the sign from Gary Carter. Buckner waits. Here he comes. Swinging a fly ball into left is foul. And Buckner snaps his fingers down there. He had the pitch I kind of think he was looking for, and that makes it strike 2.
Yeah, he was trying to drive that ball to left center.
0-2 the count to Buckner. Jim Rice waiting on deck. These Red Sox want to get something going to the point where they can make the Mets think, uh-oh, here we go again.
Yeah, that's the thing, Jack. Right now, this is a key inning for him.
It's 4-1 in favor of New York. Buckner at the plate. The pitch from Ojeda. Swing and a foul as he threw the bat at the ball, and the bat went all the way out to the pitcher's mound, and that's nothing new for Buckner. That aggravates a lot of pitchers, and frequently, when they're in a spot where they can afford to do so, they'll knock him down after he does that.
Yeah, they don't appreciate that. Him and Winfield, Buckner and Winfield throw the bat more than any 2 hitters I ever
What
seen.
if you did that to Early Wynn? Threw the bat out in his office. That's what he called the pitcher's mound, his office.
Early Wynn and Drysdale and Gibson. I can't think of 3 guys that you want to miss more than that.
And the count stays 0-2 on Buckner, 2 on, 1 out, Boston. Trailing by 3. Tying run at the plate. 3rd inning. 4-1 New York. Another pitch from Ojeda. Swing and a miss. He struck him out up and in. And that for Ojeda is his 3rd strikeout, and he will pitch to Jim Rice. He said to Buckner, well, if you want to lean out over the plate and foul that pitch off, here, try this one.
He busted him perfect, right up and in with 2 strikes. The only place you can get the ball to Buck.
Jim Rice was called out on strikes his first time. And you know what the Boston faithful want from him. 2 on, 2 out. First pitch. Swing and a ground ball to short. Scooped by Santana. Force out at second, and the inning is over. Hard hit ball up the middle. Short hop by Santana. The Red Sox leave 2, and they have stranded 3. 1 run on 2 hits. The run driven in by Marty Barrett. No errors and 2 left. We have played 3 innings. New York has out-hit Boston 5-3. And after 3, the Mets 4, Red Sox 1. In the first inning, Danny Heap got a base hit and drove in a run, and he takes a strike. In fact, Heap drove in a couple with that base knock. Boyd delivers and throws strike 2. Dennis Boyd's father was a baseball player with the old Homestead Grays. And I know you're going to pick on me when I tell you this, Sparky, but I used to watch Sancho Page. He pitched for Cleveland. Here's the pitch, and a curveball missed it low and away, and Boyd's pitching style is reminiscent of that of Satchel.
Very similar, the way his body shape, everything.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count. Heap the batter, swing, and he hit it off the end of the bat, high in the air to center field for Henderson. He has it, 1 out.
But you have to remember, Jack, when you seen Page, he was 58 years old. Boyd's just in his 20s.
Page was pitching at that age.
I know he was.
One of the more celebrated ball games took place in here. This ballpark, Fenway Park, in 1948, when the Red Sox and Cleveland tied for the pennant. Had a one-game playoff, which Cleveland won. They started a left-handed pitcher, Gene Bearden, here. Lou Boudreau is the hitting star. He was the player-manager at that time. And that vanquished the Red Sox. A swing and a miss by the batter, Mookie Wilson. He fanned his first time. Boyd has retired 9 in a row after a very shaky start. His next pitch, and Mookie took it high outside. Boyd was on the ropes in the first inning. Caused New York to leave 2 after they scored 4. Set them down in order in the second and the third, and has retired the leadoff hitter in the fourth inning and misses for ball 2 on a borderline pitch to Wilson, 2-1. Next pitch from Boyd to Wilson. Swing and a hard hit ball on one hop to Barrett, the second baseman, out at first. That's 10 in a row. He took a little off at that pitch. 10 in a row and 2 out, and Santana coming up. Rafael from the Dominican.
Rafael Santana, touchdown.
Used to belong to the Yankees, used to belong to the Cardinals. And he's being threatened now by Kevin Elster, the shortstop who joined the Mets at the tail end of the year.
Just watching that kid in infield practice and that, he has outstanding hands at Elster.
He played in the playoff and acquitted himself quite well. There are 2 out. Santana bounced to third his first time and left a couple of runners stranded. He's a fastball hitter. Light with the bat, 218 average this year. First pitch is a strike at the knee. Ordinarily, the Mets say, just play shortstop, Rafael. Don't worry about anything. So he didn't.
He didn't. He just went ahead and played shortstop.
Drove in 28 runs. And the pitch is a ball. 1-1. We're in the fourth. 4-1 in favor of New York. In the bottom of the inning, Baylor, Evans, and Gedman. Rather solid lineup for the Red Sox. Next pitch misses outside. 2-1. They try and try and try to make Santana hit the breaking pitch. Then when they get behind, he can hurt them when they serve up the fastball. Santana swings right through it. 2-2. He's wondering how he missed that one. It was in on him a little bit.
Alex Fairmouth used to always say, when a guy's a fastball hitter like this, you can't trick him. You can throw him 99 breaking ball. When you throw him one fastball, they're going to be there.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch, a ground ball to third, and a big hop to Boggs. The throw, and he's out. And that is 11 in a row retired by the Boston Hurler. New York has scored 4 times on 5 hits in the first inning. Hasn't had a runner since. After 3 1/2 innings, New York 4, Boston 1. Inning, our guest announcers will be Rusty Staub of the Mets and Joe Castiglione of the Boston Red Sox. And Don Baylor, who's built like a professional football linebacker, will lead it off.
Boston's got about 8 linebackers on their club.
And Baylor bounced the double high off the wall and left. His first time up, his first at-bat in the World Series. The score, New York 4 and Boston 1. In the New York first, in case you weren't with us, Dykstra led it off with a home run. Backman singled, Hernandez singled. Carter doubled home a run. Knight reached on the fielder's choice with 1 out. Danny Heap singled home 2. Baylor, who crowds the plate, takes ball 1. Baylor is frequently hit by pitches.
Well, he stands right on top of the plate. But I'll say one thing about him, Jackie. He'll never say a word. He don't even do nothing but go to first.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a pop foul back to the left, and it is going to be out of play. About 6 rows back. 1-1. They tell me he hit some screamers into the seats foul.
Oh, boy, he hit some down that left field line there, right beyond third base. And I'll tell you, the people, I'd be scared to death when he's up.
See where the third base coach Lockman is playing down there.
He gets way back there.
Walt Griniak is the first base coach. 1-1 to Baylor. Leading off in the fourth against Bob Ojeda. And the pitch is ball 2. Baylor's double in the second was wasted. In the third, Henderson singled, Boggs walked, and Barrett singled home a run. Boston left 2 on. They've stranded 3. Swinging a ground ball to deep short. Santana takes his time, guides it across, and there's 1 out. He's a pretty cool shortstop.
I really like him, Jack. On the inning before, on the ball Rice hit, that was a shot up the middle, and he made the play look so easy.
Dwight Evans.
As you said, he doesn't boot the routine play.
He's quick, too. He's got quick feet.
The batter is Dwight Evans. He grounded to short his first time. Evans is a good deal like Baylor. He'll hit the ball most of the time. The pitch. Ball 1. They try to get him out up and away, don't they?
Well, up and away and up and in. If you can get in with 2 strikes, you can strike him out up and in. But that's about the only place you'll strike him out.
Evans has 2 hits in the series, including a homer, and he takes a strike on an off-speed pitch, probably a screwball, and it's 1-1. The screwball that we refer to is not a full-fledged screwball. He just turns it over a little bit, changes speeds. A very effective delivery. Brings it in and misses with an off-speed delivery outside. 2-1. Ojeda rolling along. It was 4-0 New York. It's 4-1 now, bottom of the 4th. Evans took a strike. That evens the count 2-2. Evans is really in a power stance. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. And the pitch. It's a ball, low outside. Waiting on deck is Rich Gedman. Evans right down on the end of the bat. Here it comes. Swing and a little chopper in front of the plate. Carter gets it. Fair ball. Throws out at first, and there are 2 gone. A little roller in front of the plate, and Carter came out very quickly, and before it could bounce and go foul, he grabbed it and threw him out.
Off-speed pitch for him, too. He doesn't back away. He's got so much confidence in that changeup, he'll throw it any time.
That's the thing about a good pitcher, a big winner, such as Ojeda, who won 18 games this year. When they get in a jam or when they get that 3-2 count, they'll still throw their best stuff, which in his case is not the fastball. It's the breaking pitch. Here it comes to Gedman, ball 1.
See, what he does, they reverse. Those kind of pitchers are reverse pitchers, Jack. When they're ahead of you, they throw fastballs. When they're behind you, they throw their breaking stuff.
And they'll never give you that fastball to hit. Gedman fanned his first time and took a half swing here, held up, and it is ball 2. The third base umpire made the call. That's Dale Ford. Gedman batting with the bases empty. 4 in a row set down by Ojeda. And he has kept this crowd quiet for the most part. There's a strike. 2-1. He is a pretty pitcher to watch, isn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those real good pitchers that they're artists is what they are.
Outfield plays Gedman straight away. Swing and a fly ball into left may drop, and it's cleared by Wilson coming in. This ballpark will fool you, too, because the left fielder can cheat in. He figures the ball that goes over his head is going to be a double anyhow, so they cheat in and grab a lot of those line drives, which would be base hits in other parks.
See, a normal ballpark, he'd be playing deeper and that ball's in, but here they're big out.
You look up and your eyes pop. You say, there he is. And down in order go the Red Sox. At the end of 4 innings, New York 4, Boston 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Fenway Park, Boston, and in the top of the 5th inning, we have the pleasure of the company of New York broadcaster and former great player in the big leagues, Rusty Staub. Rusty, how many base hits did you ring up in all those years?
Well, I struck in a little over 2,700, which was something way beyond my imagination when I started playing, Jack.
And here we go into the 5th, and the top of the order is up for New York, and Lenny Dykstra, who started the game with a home run. Swings and fouls one as he reaches for it. He grounded out his next time, and Boyd has retired 11 in a row. You would have to guess, Rusty, that the awesomeness of the situation bothered Boyd at the outset.
Well, I don't know if that was it or the Mets just got some good pitches to hit. He certainly threw some pitches down the middle.
Here is a ball high to Dykstra. You played in this park frequently.
Yes, when I was with Detroit and with the Texas Rangers, I played here. I loved playing here, especially on days like today or nights like tonight where the wind is really blowing out. You knew some runs were going to be scored here tonight.
It is 4-1 New York, and Dykstra shoots it into short left, and that ball's a hit. As I looked up, Rice was playing rather deep, wasn't he?
I thought he was, too. I said one of the things that the Mets are going to have to do, the Met outfield normally plays deep. They like to play deep. In this ballpark, in right field, that's okay, but you can't play too deep there, or too many players are going to fall in. In this ballpark, you have to challenge, I think, in left field. You have to, Rice does not like to play in most of the time. You can see it. He's playing deep again right now.
Yeah, even with Backman up. Look how far back he's gone.
Well, Backman's got good pop out that way, but he's playing him extremely deep. I'm a little surprised myself.
Dykstra has swiped 31 bases as a threat to run. He's the first runner for New York since the first inning, and that was their 6th hit. And Dykstra has 2 of them. Gedman, a very good throwing catcher. Boyd pitches. Backman takes ball 1, and Gedman goes out to talk it over. And that was nothing unusual for New York to come out blasting with 4 in the first.
Well, Lenny Dykstra has been the spark plug of this team all year long, and he certainly did give them some fire to work with in that first at-bat. In the first 3 innings of all the games in the playoffs in the World Series, the Mets have really stunk. I think they've got 2 runs, and that was in the game the other day when they were down already.
Here goes Dykstra, the runner going, and a swing and a foul by Backman. With these 2, Dykstra and Backman, they can steal, they can hit and run. Backman fouled it off, and it's a ball and a strike.
Lenny Dykstra got a pretty good jump on that ball. That was more like the run and hit than the hit and run. But they have worked together very well so far this year.
Nothing doing in the Boston bullpen, so evidently they like the way Boyd is pitching.
Well, as you said, he had a whole bunch of guys out in the row. That first inning, after the first 2 hitters, I thought it was a real good move to come out and talk to him, because you could see he was very depressed that he came out all fired up, and boom, a home run, and then 3 or 4 hits. That shook him up.
He was really hopping around out there, and his last outing had been a good one as he won the 6th game of the playoff against the Angels. Dykstra back at first. There's nobody out. Buckner holds against him. Boyd does not have a real good pickoff move. The right-hander is ready. A long look. His pitch. Backman was going to bunt and took a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Did you have fun with this left field wall when you were hitting, although you were a left-handed batter?
I snuck a couple up on the wall. I never did hit a home run out to left field, but I hit a few balls off this wall. In fact, I hit a ball at this wall and turned first base and put my afterburners on. It was thrown out by about 15 feet going into second. The ball came right down, and Rice made a very fine play and threw me out.
They say he can really handle things out there. The runner at first is back in time as the throw goes over there, and Dykstra has that look about him. 2 balls and a strike.
He was certainly edging off at that moment. That was a good decision to go to first.
And it looks like he doesn't have to take a very big lead to be effective as the base stealer against Boyd. A look over there, and Boyd pitches. The runner goes. A swing and a ball hit to Buckner. The play will be at first, unassisted. And Dykstra advances to second base with 1 out, and the batter is Keith Hernandez. Hernandez singled and scored in the first inning, and then grounded out his next time.
I'll tell you one thing that really surprised me at this ballpark today. We came out here, and it was really eerie. It was so quiet. It did not have the atmosphere I thought it was going to have. I thought there was going to be electricity running all over this ballpark.
Talking about before the game?
Right, and it was just dead. Everybody was so somber. I couldn't believe it today, especially, being ahead 2 games to nothing. I thought this ballpark would just be alive, and it wasn't.
I suppose they'll get it that way as these innings go along, and they say this game slipping away from them. The Mets have a chance to get their original 4-run lead back, or better than that if Hernandez can do something here. Rusty Staub is at the other microphone. Outfield plays Hernandez to pull. A little bit more than most clubs do. Pitches the ball. I wouldn't give him that much of left center, would you?
Well, he has certainly attacked it there. He's probably one of the better gap hitters in baseball. I guess the right center field being the larger gap, they're trying to give him something. Rice is moving over a little bit, giving him more of the left field line.
Look back at second, the pitch, and the boy misses with another, and that's ball 2. He has Carter on deck.
Well, I'll tell you, after a bad first inning, he came back and threw a lot of balls right on that outside corner, down and away. And that's why he had so many good innings in between that first bad inning and now.
Retired 11 in a row. Checks Dykstra, pitches. Hernandez takes a strike down around the knees. Even when Hernandez is ahead on the count, he won't throw it. He won't swing at just any strike. He'll wait for his pitch.
Well, that was the fastball in the strike zone. I was a little surprised he didn't take a whack at that one.
2 balls and a strike to Keith Hernandez. And the pitch. Swing and a miss out in front on a changeup, and it's 2-2.
That's the one thing I think every pitcher, all the young guys that come and have great arms, developing that off-speed pitch, that changeup that throws the timing off, is such a key thing. I think of Mario Soto and how great a pitcher he became after being just a hard thrower. When he got that changeup, he became so much more effective.
2-2 the count, the pitch. Hernandez swings and a long one to right. Evans back at the track. He'll catch it. The runner tags, goes to third without a play. He's there with 2 out, and Gary Carter will come up. Hernandez made a bid to pull the ball and hit it hard, but he hit it to the big part of right field.
Even with the wind tonight, which is really blowing out, and the balls are really jumping, you still have to hit that ball to get it out in that part of field. 380.
Gary Carter, the catcher.
Gary Carter doubled, drove in a run, scored a run in the first, then flat out. And if Boyd can get Carter and get the Mets without a run scoring here, that'll give some impetus to the Red Sox.
Each half inning changes that momentum.
Boyd works off the stretch so as not to worry about Dykstra, and Carter pops it up foul. It goes out of play as the third baseman Boggs goes over there. Carter has had 3 hits and 10 at-bats. Hasn't hit the long ball very often in postseason play. He's struggled most of the year with bad knees and bad hands. He's always beat up.
Well, he did pretty good with his legs this year. In fact, that home run Lenny Dykstra hit was the first extra base hit the Mets had the whole series.
And Dykstra is now at third with 2 out. He comes down the line. Boyd pitches. Carter pops it up, and that will end the inning. The shortstop should get it. Owen backs into the outfield and has it. Carter is retired. The leadoff single is wasted by New York. They get a hit. They leave a man. They stand at 3. Thank you, Rusty. Jack and see you tomorrow. Rusty Staub with us. Turning the score sheet over, we see it'll be Henderson, Owen, and Boggs in the bottom of the 5th inning. And after 4.5, it is the New York Mets 4 and Boston 1. Here at Fenway Park, we go into the bottom of the 5th inning with the Mets leading 4-1. They've out-hit Boston 6-3. Dave Henderson will lead it off, and Joe Castiglione, the Red Sox broadcaster, will join us. Thanks for joining us, Joe. See, I've left you nothing to say.
Well, it's great to be back here, Jack. After game 1, we certainly enjoyed that experience, and the Red Sox playing catch-up here tonight right from the outset as Earl Boyd gave up 4 runs in the first inning. It was very similar to his outing in game 6 of the American League Championship Series. He threw 44 pitches in the top of the first there and gave up 2 runs. Here is Dave Henderson, followed by Spike Owen and then Ray Boggs for the Red Sox. He was 8-9 and then the leadoff man in the order. Henderson lined a shot into left field for a single his first at bat. He's 6 for 10 in the World Series. Bobby Ojeda lines and throws, and his breaking ball is away 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes to Henderson, who gets a tremendous ovation every time he moves here at Fenway after that home run in game 5. Strike called over the outside corner, 1-1. Left-hander Bobby Ojeda, who has an excellent change. He winds, and his pitch is tipped down and away. 2 balls and a strike. Ojeda had a year here in '84 in which he had 11 starts, allowing 1 earned run or less. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. He was way out in front of that off-speed pitch. He had some troubles with the wall here, but still, his record at Fenway as a member of the Red Sox, 20-17, the 9th best ever by a left-hander here. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Sparky Anderson Ojeda, since going over to the National League, seems to be throwing that changeup, which is a lot like a screwball, more often for strikes, doesn't he?
I noticed that, Joe. He's throwing it much more, and he's throwing it when he's behind the hitter, and he's getting it over, like you said.
Here is Owen now. Spike at a check swing line, drive to third, his first at bat. That's 4 strikeouts for Ojeda, who has walked 1. The pitch for the Red Sox, he averaged better than 4 walks for 9 innings, but for the Mets, he's had much better control, cutting that total in half. Outfield very shallow, and to the right. Spike batting from the right side takes a call strike over the outside corner, 0-1. Owen from the University of Texas. Right in at the edge of the grass at third. The pitch is inside, backing him off the plate, 1-1. Ojeda also appears to be pitching inside a little bit more here tonight than he did with the Red Sox.
I think that pitching over in that Met ballpark and pitching in the National League in bigger parks, he's learned a lot more things.
The 1-1. Outside and low. With a sinker, 2-1. Well, Bruce Hurst had a great year here at Fenway. He was 8-2 during the regular season. The left-hander pitched well in the postseason. The 2-1. Swung on here on the ground, right side. Diving stab by Backman to his left. He comes up throwing and gets it. Good play by Backman going to his left and coming up with a one-hand stab, getting Owen at first.
26.
2 men are out.
Wait, pause. Good late, pause.
Now here comes Boggs, who grounded back to the mound and walked. When Ojeda was with the Red Sox, his very best friend was Rich Gedman. They were almost inseparable at the field, and now tonight, Rich is hitting against him. Here's the windup, and the pitch to Boggs. Strike call, fastball working inside, 0-1. For the 1, New York. The Mets got 4 in the first. The Red Sox got 4 run in the third. Boggs, who led the league in walks, swings and lines one into left field, a base hit. Bobbled by Wilson, but he keeps it in front of him, and Wade Boggs has the Red Sox 4th hit, a solid single to left, and Sparky a typical Wade Boggs hit.
That Wade Boggs hit is probably about 150 of his 200 and some hits right there. A line shot between short and third.
Wade had an incredible statistic this year. He did not top out at all until August, the late August, when he topped out against your Detroit Ball Club.
I think the year before, what was it, once or twice?
Right, and again, not till late in the season when his back was bothering him. And says if he tops out, he's really doing something drastically wrong mechanically. Here's Barrett at the plate, who singled home the Red Sox lone run. He takes a strike over the outside corner, 0-1. That was in the third. Marty grounded to the pitcher as Ojeda made a good play in the first inning. 1 on, 2 out. 4-1 New York in the last of the 5th at Fenway. This crowd really came in pumped up, but 4 runs at the top of the first seemed to deflate it a little bit. Here's the pitch. Outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Bill Buckner on deck. Here's the stretch. Ojeda delivers, and Barrett watches a ball hit down and away. 2-1. Back here, recalled vividly a game that Ojeda pitched for the Red Sox at Tiger Stadium against your ball club.
Why do you have to remind us of that? 1-0 game?
Right. He beat Jack Morris, who was outstanding. And that was the only game Morris lost. I think he went 10-1, and that was a loss in there. The pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. 2-2.
And Dwight Evans hit a home run off him in the 9th inning to beat him.
Yep. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Hernandez playing between the runner and the bag. Ojeda is ready. And time called by Barrett just before the ball was released. He does throw it, and it almost went back to the screen. Would not have mattered because time had been granted. Barrett wheels the bat around and times it to the pitcher's delivery, and oftentimes he will ask 4 times. He feels uncomfortable or a little off balance. Bill Buckner on deck. Outfield around to the right. They usually give Barrett left center field. Here's the 2-2. He takes outside and low, 3-2. Bill Buckner never stands in the on-deck circle. He always comes out almost behind home plate to sneak a better look at the pitcher.
He's like a nervous wreck. He keeps walking around.
He can't wait to get up there. The payoff pitch with the runner going grounded up the middle in the left center field. The base hit. Boggs hits second, takes a turn and hangs. Dykstra's throw comes in behind him to second, but Boggs is back standing. Barrett lining one that hits just to the left of second base on the dirt surface and kicked down through. So the Red Sox with a pair of 2-out singles by Boggs and by Barrett, and here is Buckner, who flied to right and then struck out on a high fastball in the 3rd inning. A rare thing indeed, Joe, a very tough man to fan. The conference at the mound now breaks up. Buckner had over 100 RBIs this year for the 2nd straight year. He also had a career high of 18 home runs, with 7 coming in a 9-game span. A tying run at the plate for the Red Sox. House in Boston's back bay is coming to life. Ojeda standing on the rubber, peering in, gets his sign from Carter. Buckner, a left-hand batter, awaits. Here's the pitch. And he takes the strike over the outside corner, 0-1. So Buckner's practice is not what you'd call a selective hitter.
Well, no, he's not a selective hitter, but I'll say one thing, Joe. It's unusual, like you said, to see him strike out.
He comes up there to swing. And he's excellent hitting behind on the count. The 0-1. Swung on, grounded softly to shortstop, wrapped by Santana. He flips to second to Bachman. They get the force on Barrett to retire the side. So the Red Sox get 2 hits, but do not score. They strand 2 runners. Thank you very much for having me, gentlemen. After 5 full, it is 4-1 Mets. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Boston Red Sox fell behind 4-0 after 1. They scored their only run in the 3rd inning, closed the gap to 4-1. 2 different times they had the tying run at the plate. In the 3rd, with 1 out, but Buckner struck out and Rice hit into a force out. And just now in the 5th, with 2 outs, singles by Boggs and Barrett gave them a chance, but Ojeda retired Buckner, and now the Red Sox have left 5. The Mets have left 3. They go into the 6th inning, and Darryl Strawberry leads it off, and Dennis Boyd is still on the mound for Boston. First pitch, swinging a high fly ball into left center, closing out at the center fielder Henderson, and has it for the out. Jim Rice just stayed away and said it's all yours, and that's the way it has to be with that center fielder catching anything and everything he can get to, and the same thing for a shortstop.
Absolutely, and once Henderson plays with these guys enough, it'll work a lot better, too.
This pitcher, Boyd, retired 11 in a row before Dykstra singled in the 5th. He's now set down 4 in a row and pitches to Ray Knight. He's 0 for 2 and hits it foul hard past 3rd, strike 1. We're in the 6th inning. Just being in this ballpark makes you think, as you look at the Boston lineup, that the score is not going to remain 4-1.
Just being here, you're always waiting that somebody's going to erupt for a big inning.
Could be the Mets. It could be the Bo Sox. Another pitch to Ray Knight. He swings and grounds it to short. The charging Owen gets a big hop and throws wide but out as Buckner danced to the other side of the base and caught the ball 2 gone. Owen, on a routine play, really put Buckner in a nasty position.
He's been throwing a little wild playoffs and the series. He's had a lot of scattery throws.
He ain't no Alan Trammell.
No, he's not accurate like old Tram. Tram doesn't ever throw a ball off.
Or Ozzie Smith.
Or Ozzie Smith. Or Fernandez up at Toronto.
Oh, you like him, don't you?
Well, what a player he is.
5 in a row retired by Boyd. He will now face Heath. You recall that in the 1st inning, the Boston team really messed up a rundown play, cost them an out. and it cost them a run. First pitch of the ball to Heath. He singled in the first, driving home a couple, and then he flied out in the fourth. We'll see how important that run is that the Red Sox gave to New York as we go along, and we're already in the sixth inning. All the Mets want from Ojeda is another inning or two.
2 more innings, all they would really like to have.
They have McDowell and Orozco in the bullpen. Here's a swing and a fly ball and a changeup into right, and Evans gets to it handily, and down they go in order. That's 6 in a row by Boyd, who set down 11 in a row earlier. He flies out to right to end the inning. Rice, Baylor, and Evans will be coming up for Boston. After 5 1/2, the visiting Mets 4, Boston 1. Jim Rice leads it off. He's 0 for 2. Started the evening with 4 hits in the series, batting against Bob Ojeda, first pitch. And that's a ball low and away. Ojeda has struck out 4, walked 1, scattered 5 hits, and caused Boston to leave 5 in 5 innings. The pitch to Rice. Way high, and that's ball 2.
Talk about good-looking young players. What about the Eric Davis of Cincinnati?
How did he come on?
That's dynamite and a small factor in every department.
2 balls, no strikes to Rice. Swing up there, backing out of play.
Wouldn't get a good cut of that one.
He sent it over the left field on this cozy backpack. Ojeda 18 and 5 on the year, and 1-0 in the playoff against Houston. And the pitch. Up and in, and that's ball 3, 3-1. Ojeda will do that. I don't think he wanted to fall behind 3-1, but he doesn't mind moving people off of the plate.
Keeps the boys honest.
Knight deep behind the base at third, hitting room up the middle, and it's ball 4 just outside. So he walks the leadoff hitter. It's his second pass given by the Boston hurler. And it brings up Don Baylor. Does he hit that ground ball, double play ball very often?
Not too much. He likes to hit that ball in the air a lot.
Baylor doubled high off the wall and left in the second inning, and then he grounded to short. He crowds the plate and he waits. Hernandez holds against the runner. Ojeda checks the runner, and here it comes. Outside, ball 1. Now the crowd comes to life.
I don't understand Santana. He's playing halfway. Why wouldn't he be playing back to the grass?
I don't know. They get the double play on anything an infielder can glove here. Hitting room through the right side. They really played Baylor to pull. It's a strike on the outside corner. And Baylor said, you can have that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. A leadoff walk, and it is the second time in the game Boston has put the leadoff hitter on base. Next one to Baylor. Swing and a pop fly. He was really jammed. It'll be caught on the infield by Ray Knight for the first out. You talk about a jammer. He really get in on the kitchen of Don Baylor.
That ball would have been out of here had there been a hurricane about 100 miles an hour. Boy.
It hardly got to Ray Knight, who caught it. And Santana came over and slammed into Ray Knight. But he held the ball, and the batter is Dwight Evans, and Bob Ojeda continues to make the pitches he needs to make. 1 on, 1 out. And the Red Sox can't put much together. They had a single hit in the second inning, a double by Baylor. They had 2 hits and a walk in the third to manufacture their only run. They had 2 two-out hits in the fifth, but nothing came of that. Evans takes a ball on the outside corner. And it's a called strike 1. Evans is grounded to short. Tapped out in front of the plate, and the catcher threw him out. Next pitch. That sinks low, 1-1. Ojeda insists that the pitch he throws is not a screwball. And that's the way it acts as he changes speeds. 1 on, 1 out. Hitting room through the right side. Time called by the batter. Hernandez is holding against the runner at first, and Backman at second base. He has a little trouble making the double plays, Sparky, so he cheats a little bit to the base.
Yeah, they say that's one of the things that he has improved a little bit on, though. They say he really wasn't good at all, but he has improved a little.
Dwight Evans trying to put Boston back in it. Red Sox trail 4-1, bottom of the 6th. As we mentioned before, The Mets want this one and another inning from Ojeda before they go to the bullpen, if at all. Swinging a high pop fly out of play, back into the right. And a souvenir. 1 ball, 2 strikes. These baseballs they use are all stamped with the World Series logo and the commissioner's signature on there.
And they all got nitroglycerin in them. They fly very fast.
They jump. A lot of people were talking this year about a livelier ball.
If it ain't alive, I don't know. Then they're using leaded bats.
Next pitch coming. Swing a high foul off to the right side again and into the seats as Hernandez chases longingly over there. The count stays 1-2. Thanks to Rusty Staub and Joe Castiglione for joining us here this evening. And Dick Brescia, Vice President of Radio, on hand to check on Sparky Anderson.
Wow, he's got a lot to check out with me.
Runner at first and 1 out. Evans the batter. Gedman next. Crowd here wants some hits, but Ojeda says, His 1-2 pitch on the way. Changeup struck him out swinging. Ojeda picks up a strikeout. It's his 5th. Evans waited and waited and then swung and missed, and there are 2 out.
Well, he's a good pitcher. I can see now why he won 18 games.
Do you remember him pitching this way when you saw him last year?
Oh, yeah. He beat us 1-0. Beat Jack Morris 1-0 to Detroit ballpark, and Dwight Evans hit a home run in the 9th inning to beat him 1-0.
Now Ojeda deals with the left-handed batter, Rich Gedman. He is struck out, fly to left. Ball 1 is low. Gary Carter behind the plate. Knight, Santana, Backman, and Hernandez on the infield. Wilson, Dykstra, and Strawberry in the New York outfield. New York scored 4 in the first, and they lead 4-1 in the 6th. And Gedman pops it foul. It's back near the stands, and it will go out of play. That's 1-1. We're told that Ojeda and Gedman were the best of friends when they were on the same club, Boston, a year ago.
And that's why Ojeda liked to get him out, because anytime you're buddy, that's the guy you want to work over good.
John Tudor, who pitches for the Cardinals, lives in the Boston area. We saw him before the game. He had an operation on his right thumb. He's a left-handed pitcher. He had the same kind of injury that Jack Clark had.
Jack, how would you like to have Tudor, Ojeda, Hurst, and Clemens going for you?
That'd be a pretty good staff. A runner on at first, a leadoff walk, but Ojeda trying to close the door. And he is up to a 1-1 count to Gedman. Gedman has 1 out of 11 in the series. The pitch, swing and a miss on a breaking ball. That puts the batter in the hole 1-2, and more it looks like Ojeda's night.
Yeah, he's tough. He's just a real good pitcher.
Hernandez plays behind the runner, Rice. And another pitch from the lefty. Gedman swings and held up, and he did not go around, says the third base umpire. It's a 2-2 count, and that was close.
Very close.
Most of the time, I didn't think he went around. Most of the time when it looks like the batter swung, he did. But that time it was borderline, and he stopped. And now, a ball in the dirt, and the runner goes to second. A walk and a wild pitch has Rice down to second with 2 out, and that might change the batting approach of Gedman, but he has a 2-2 count.
It's not going to change the pitching of Ojeda, though.
Carter had no chance on that one. A full count of 3-2. A base is open, and Henderson is on deck, and so Gedman had better be ready to swing. He'll get something to swing at. Rice at second, 2 out. 3-2 pitch. Struck him out with a breaking ball, and Gedman howls to the umpire. The inning is over. A half a dozen strikeouts in the game for the New York left-hander. A leadoff walk, nothing else. 1 left. A half dozen stranded for Boston, and through 6 innings, the score. New York Mets 4 and the Boston Red Sox 1. We go into the 7th inning with the Mets leading 4-1. They scored their 4 runs in the first inning. And Sparky Anderson, as this game goes, as a lot of games go, The Mets are going to turn around and solidify their lead now after Boston has missed 3 pretty good scoring chances.
Yeah, absolutely. Boston's had 3 chances, to catch up, and they didn't do it. And now the Mets try to expand that lead.
It's up to Dennis Boyd to hold things in check. He's retired 6 in a row. Mookie Wilson, it's a high foul ball into right. Near the stands, Buckner has a play. He caught the ball right at the railing, 1 out. Bill Buckner took care of Mookie Wilson, who is 0 for 3, and Santana is the batter. And now's the time for you to enjoy an Arby's All-Star Roast Beef Sandwich, made with America's favorite roast beef. Arby's, an official sponsor of Major League Baseball. That would hit the spot right now, wouldn't it, sir?
Oh, absolutely.
The batter's Santana. He's 0 for 2.
I got a new rule for baseball.
What's that?
You get to throw out 2 innings if you don't like.
Any 2 innings, you take them out and throw them away. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on a low breaking ball. Here in Boston today, we had a nice luncheon with our CBS affiliate, WEEI, and their personnel. Kurt Gowdy, Sparky Anderson, and others at the head table. Had a nice time. Here's the pitch from Boyd to Santana. Swing and a miss out in front of the breaking ball. Strike 2.
He thinks it's illegal to throw that breaking ball. Santana says you should throw it straight and up high.
Let me hit it. Santana is 2 out of 8 in the series. And the pitch. Swinging a ball up the middle is a hit.
See, you could throw him 99 breaking balls, slip him 1 fastball, he's waiting for it.
He's waiting for it, and he's going to hit it. That was a fastball, right?
Absolutely, right up and over the plate.
Why?
Well, because the pitcher thinks he gives the hitter credit that the hitter's looking for something. Well, let him look for it. He can't hit it, so give it to him again.
Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
Hear all the action between the Mets and the Red Sox on the official radio station of the 1986 World Series, WTIC 1080 Hartford.
Len Dykstra started this game with a home run into right. Then he grounded to second. Then he singled. Santana is not a big base-stealing threat. He's on at first with 1 out. The Mets might do a little running, however. The pitch is down and in, ball 1. You remember what I said at the top of the inning, Sparky? Here's Boston down by 3 runs. They missed 3 pretty good scoring opportunities, and now this is when the other club turns around and bites you.
And they're right in the heart of their order right now.
And a hit by the weak-hitting Santana puts him at first with 1 out. Dykstra swings and misses on a low delivery, and Gedman came up ready to throw. New York now has 7 hits. Boston has 5. Dykstra has 3 in the series, 3 out of 9. And he's tough to get on the double play. Boggs plays in at third. Buckner holds against Santana. Second baseman and shortstop cheat in, looking for the double play ball. And the pitch to Dykstra. He shows the bunt. He bunts it foul. He's in the hole, 1 and 2. Try to drop it down in front of Wade Boggs. The on-deck hitter is Beckman.
I can never figure that out about a pitcher. You got a guy that just absolutely can't hit something. Why they ever want to try to trick him? Just give it to him, and give it to him.
Usually the answer is the catcher called for it.
Well, the catcher don't put the vittles on the table for you, though.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Dykstra. Dykstra, although he hit .295, is not a complete hitter as yet. He's still learning. You can strike him out. Santana on at first with 1 out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a hit. That's his 3rd of the night. Into right, and Santana stops at second base. Dykstra seemed to golf one into right field.
Yes, he did. He hit a good pitch. That was a good pitch he hit.
So it's 1st and 2nd with 1 out. And Boston now has given up 8 hits in the game. And the batter is Wally Backman, another tough one to get on the double play. And there they go in the bullpen for the home team. The score 4-1 New York, and they threaten to add to the lead with 2 on and 1 out. And a right-hander and a left-hander.
Yeah, that's Zambito and Stanley.
Those 2 warm up in the Boston bullpen out in the right center field area. Backman has singled, scored. He's 1 for 3. Switch hitter batting left. The pitch. Strike called in the outside corner. He's looking for a ball to pull. Dennis Boyd, after retiring 7 in a row, gave up a hit to Santana, and then Dykstra got his 3rd hit. And Backman is the man. Hitting room up the middle, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good sinker ball. Strike 2 on deck, Hernandez.
He's been making some very good pitches the last 6 innings.
He may rue the delivery he gave to Santana with 1 out.
Absolutely.
And a follow-up hit by Dykstra, who hit a good pitch on a line into right. Now 2 strikes on Backman. And the pitch on the way. Swing and a fly ball into left center. 2 at his right. He's there. He has it. 2 out. And now it will be Boyd against Hernandez. Turning the score sheet over. Henderson, Owen, and Boggs will bat in the Boston 7th. I keep turning the score sheet over, Sparky, to see when the pitcher is coming up and when they're going to pinch hit. But we're not doing that tonight. We have the old DH rule.
Well, they asked me what's the difference between the National American League. I said one plays soccer and the other plays rugby. That's about what the difference is. Rugby's a very rough sport. Over here, you got the big guy walking up, bringing him right out of the lumber yards. He cuts down the lumber and brings it here to DH.
Keith Hernandez is up with 2 on and 2 out. He is singled, scored, grounded out, and lined out to right. He's 1 for 3 and 2 out of 10. And he is a big man in this game. He could take this right out of reach from Boston. On the other hand, if Boyd gets him out, he'll keep the Red Sox within striking distance. Outfielders play him to pull. They play him deep. The pitch misses just out of the strike zone outside. Ball 1 on deck, Carter. Santana singled with 1 out. So did Dykstra. Backman flied out. Ball 1 the count to Hernandez. Here's the pitch. And it's low, and a good play by Gedman, and that's ball 2. Santana at second and Dykstra at first. Good runners. Harry Wendelstedt, the plate umpire, throws the ball out of play. A lot of Major League umpires have come through the Wendelstedt umpiring school down in Florida.
Absolutely.
Hernandez sitting on something here. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 on, 2 out. And Boyd steps off. And now he wants to talk to Gedman. Zambito, a left-hander, and Stanley, a right-hander, are in the Boston bullpen. This Boston crowd was shocked when the Mets got 4 in the first, and they haven't come out of it since. Hernandez jams the helmet down on the top of his head, taps the plate, and waits. He likes to drive that ball into left center in a spot like this. The pitch. And it missed a little bit high. Ball 3. And with Carter coming up next, Hernandez might be swinging.
I would think he's hitting here, and I would think that Boyd would throw that changeup here.
If he loses Hernandez, he loads him up for Carter. It's 3-0 to the New York first baseman. The pitch. And he is high for ball 4, and Hernandez draws the walk. That from Boyd is the very first pass he has given this evening, and he has made it exciting.
Well, he actually really there in that case. He pitched right around Hernandez. He wasn't going to let Hernandez hit.
And now a visit to the mound by John McNamara, and we shall see what happens. A public awareness message from CBS Radio. I can't tell you things you haven't heard before. I just want to remind you, drugs kill people. For your own sake, stay off of drugs. Carter doubled in the left center and drove in a run in the first. He flied out in the 3rd inning. And he pumped out in the 5th. He could about wrap this one up for New York here in the 7th inning with the Mets leading 4-1. And Boyd gets the sign. Carter waits. Here's the pitch. Strike call at the knees. Outside part, strike 1. Carter up until the time he gets 2 strikes, will be sitting on a particular pitch, hoping to get it and drive it. Hit 24 home runs during the year. Next pitch coming. Swing and a miss on an off-speed breaking ball. Strike 2.
He sets on that high fastball, and he prays that you'll give it to him. And I'll say one thing, he can hit it when he gets it.
Carter drove in 105 runs during the year. In the series, he has had 3 out of 11. You remember what Boyd did to Santana, got ahead of him, and then threw him the fastball. Bases loaded and 2 out in the top of the 7th, 4-1 New York. Time called by the batter. No balls, 2 strikes to count, and Carter stepped out to break the rhythm of Dennis Boyd. Now the batter back in. Carter taps the plate. Outfield deep around to the left. Full windup with the bases loaded, 2 out, into the pitch. Swing on a line drive, base hit on the left. 2 runs will score. Rice will throw home, but it will be too late. 2 more for New York, and now they have 2 runners at second base. A throw down there, and they have Carter hung up, and he will be chased by Buckner, who can't catch him. Here's the throw to the middle infielder. They tag him out before the other run can score. The inning is over, but the Mets add 2 and lead 6-1. What a sight watching Buckner chasing Carter.
He made 2 good pitches on him, and then he got the ball right up to him.
Just as he did to Santana.
Absolutely.
Carter singles home 2 with 2 out, and he has driven in 3. Crossing the plate, Santana and Dykstra. Then Hernandez stopped at second and was joined by Carter. Carter was caught in the rundown and finally tagged out. In the inning, New York scores 2 to give them a half a dozen. They do so on 3 hits and a walk. Leave a man. They have stranded 4, and they have driven a nail into the Red Sox cause. After 6 1/2 innings, it is the Mets 6 and Boston 1. That put out, which ended the New York 7th inning, went 7 Rice, 2 Gedman, to the second baseman Barrett, to the first baseman Buckner, to the shortstop Owen, who made the tag. It went 7, 2, 4, 3, 6, and there was some sight watching Buckner chase Carter.
Yeah. Imagine Carter being able to outrun somebody.
The paid attendance tonight, 33,595, and Boyd did the same thing to Carter, which he had done to Santana. 2 breaking ball strikes and then a fastball. Was that a fastball Carter hit?
I think it was a fastball. Both of them were up.
And Boston now trails by 5. And Ojeda is breezing. Pitches to Henderson and a swing and a miss, and we're underway in the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Red Sox faithful feel badly about this one.
Well, it's like you said over there in New York. He keeps those fans very quiet when you take them out of the ballgame.
It is 6-1. Henderson has singled and struck out. And the pitch is outside. I hesitate to say this, Sparky, but at the top of the inning, I said that the Red Sox have missed 3 scoring opportunities, and this is when the other team turns around and bites you. That's what happened.
No, you don't hate to say it because you're absolutely correct.
You can feel those things in a ballgame.
You've done it so much, Jack, and seen it so many times that you, like you said, you just sense them.
It is 2 balls and a strike to count to Henderson. And a 5-run deficit is not insurmountable for the Red Sox in this park.
I think it is with Ojeda pitching because he's really got good command. I don't look for him to make no big eruption.
We shall see. Henderson, Owen, and Boggs in this inning. And the pitch is outside, and he walked him. Well, given a 5-run lead, Ojeda says, I don't like it like this. And for the 2nd inning in a row, he walks the leadoff hitter. It is the 3rd pass he has given tonight.
That's a tremendous sin right there. You just picked him up 2 more runs, like you said, to put him ahead 5 runs, and then walk the first man up. You don't care if he hits it over the light towers.
Joe Sambito continues to throw in the Boston bullpen. He's a left-hander. Spike Owen is the batter. They hold, though not tightly, against Henderson at first, giving Owen a little bit of hitting room through the right side. He's 0 for 2. He was going to bunt and took a ball. This is when the New York Mets are really in good shape with their bullpen. We're into the 7th inning, and they have a 1-2 punch of McDowell, the right-hander, and the left-hander Orozco. There's nothing doing out there in the bullpen yet.
Jack, Santana does something that I just hate to see an infielder do. You got a 5-run lead. You're in the 7th inning. The one thing you don't want to happen is the ball go by on either side on your ground ball, so you back up the deepest point you can go back.
Even if you don't get the double
play. You don't even care about that. You want to make sure now you need 9 outs, and that's what you play. You play a game called outs. He has to be back so that no ball on either side goes through.
And he is cheating in, looking for the double play. Leadoff walk to Henderson. Ball 1 the count to Owen. And the pitch from Ojeda. And he gets one in there for a called strike 1.
See, that's where somebody on the bench, you make sure you have guys that you have assigned to watching guys. You make sure that he's back.
Now Roger McDowell is up and throwing in the bullpen for New York. And he's a handful. 1-1 to Owen. The pitch. That's ball 2, sinking low. To this point, Ojeda has scattered 5 hits and walked 3. Barrett has 2 of the 5 Boston hits. 1 for Boggs, 1 for Henderson, 1 for Baylor. Ball low, ball 3, 3-1.
See, I look at it this way. They were leading 4-1. Now, if they didn't get those other 2 runs there, if this guy hits a home run, all they've gotten back is the 2 they got. It don't mean anything. Throw strikes and make them hit the ball.
Leadoff walk to Henderson, a 3-1 count on Owen. He hasn't swung the bat yet. The pitch, strike called, and it's 3-2. And this is when Ojeda is murder, when he gets that 2-strike count on you because of the variety of pitches he will throw no matter what the count. Henderson leads away. 3-2 to the batter and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. 6-1 New York. Next pitch. Swinging a foul and a high delivery back to the screen. 3-2. He challenged him that time.
He's going to come right down Broadway to him and tell him to get it over that screen if you can.
And Owen is not likely to. Right-handed batter. He had 1 home run during the season. The count stays 3-2. And the pitch. Swing and a smash to second base. Out at second. On to first. And that's a double play. And the inning is slowed down considerably for the Red Sox. And a dandy play by Backman. His second fine play of the evening. To his left. He almost pulled Santana off the base. A good play by the shortstop. And a double play.
But you see where Backman there was playing? Backman was playing right back deep. That ball, if he would have been playing where Santana is playing halfway, that ball's fine.
That's what you were talking about earlier, but the Mets pulled it off, and Santana did a good job on the pivot. And there are 2 out. The batter is Wade Boggs. Ball 1. Boggs is tapped out, walked, and singled. I'll give Spike Owen credit. He tried to go the other way with it.
Sure did. He tried to go right that way with it.
Now Ojeda is all but out of this 7th inning. Boggs will try to crank it up again, and the pitch is inside. Ball 2. That was the first double play of the evening. The Mets got 4 in the first, 2 in the top of the 7th. They lead 6-1, and Backman has sparkled in the field. Here's a high foul ball near the stands, and it is going to go out of play. In addition, Backman had a hit in that first inning, so he's been a big part of this game.
Jack, can you imagine a hitter playing a whole season and only popping up 1 time all year, and it was in August he popped up?
That was Wade Boggs. What a hitting stroke he has. 2 balls and a strike to count. 2 out and the base is empty. We haven't talked much about the pitching pairing for tomorrow night. There's a high pop foul, and there is a play for Gary Carter. Anderson put the whammy on him, and the ball is caught, and the inning is over.
Well, I do that. I can really do that. That's what I'm going to do next year. I'm just going to sit over there and talk about it.
So after the leadoff walk, a double play, and nothing doing for Boston. We have played 7 at the end of 7 innings. The score is the Mets 6, Boston 1. We'll be back in just a moment. Sparky Anderson, did you ever play kick the can when you were a kid?
Oh, sure.
That's what the Mets have done tonight.
That's what, truthfully, this is the truth. In the league, that's what all the clubs always say, let's play kick the can when they base it.
Well, Dennis Boyd is through 7 innings, 6 runs, 9 hits, struck out 3, walked 1, and tomorrow night, Ron Darling, who lost the first game 1-0 on the unearned run, will be opposed by Al Nipper. He was 10-12 this year for Boston.
Well, they're doing that so that they can line up their pitching, get Hurst and Clemens and Boyd all on the 5th day.
And then if there is a game here on Thursday night, it will be Hurst, and then when they go back Saturday after the open date Friday, it'll be Clemens again for Boston.
Well, if I was a guessing...
They may get around again to Boyd if there is a 7th game.
If I was a guessing man, I think we might see Boyd again.
The score is 6-1 after 7, and Joe Sambito takes over and pitches to Darryl Strawberry. The pitch from the lefty, and a swing and a hit, and that is the first of the series for Strawberry. A line drive single against the left-hander by Strawberry to start the 8th inning. And the visiting Mets have a total of 10 hits now, and they look like their old selves. Good pitching, good hitting.
And they look very loose now. I think, like you said, Jack, the monkey was off their back, and now they're going to loosen up and just play.
Batter is Ray Knight, 0 for 3. Mets got 4 in the first and 2 in the 7th, and Bob Ojeda has stymied the Red Sox. And the batter is Ray Knight. He can get Knight on the double play, and he is a big threat for the long ball in this part. He also can go the other way, and there's hitting room in that area. First pitch, low ball 1 from Sambito. The next batter is due to be Danny Heath, the designated hitter, but Kevin Mitchell comes out swinging a bat. And the Boston bullpen stays busy. They hold against Strawberry. He is a threat to run. Sambito throws over there. Sambito really caught my attention and admiration when he was down in Houston and had a sore arm and couldn't pitch anymore. He made a lot of appearances for the Houston club, and that's not unusual. But one of the things he did do was thoroughly admirable. Here's his pitch coming to Ray Knight in the dirt, and it's blocked, but the runner goes. Sambito got the rebound, but there's no play on the wild pitch. And Strawberry's at second base and nobody out. They tell me down there in Houston that almost every day Sambito visited the hospitals where a lot of sick youngsters were on hand, and some of them terminally ill, and they said his presence there was magic.
Well, I've heard nothing but good things over the years when he was at Houston pitching, what a tremendous person he was and how he did like children so much.
Joe Sambito from Brooklyn, New York, on the mound for Boston, pitching to Ray Knight. Now watch Ray Knight go to work trying to move the runner over with a 2-ball, no strike count. Here's the pitch. On the way. High outside and off the glove of the catcher for apparently a pass ball. And the runner, Strawberry, goes to third with nobody out. That ball really handcuffed Gedman. He must have been crossed up.
He must have crossed him out. He had to be looking for a slider, and he threw him a fastball up and away.
And the count is 3-0 to Ray Knight. He might be swinging, trying to get the run home.
I would think he does have the hit sign here.
That ball thunked off the glove of the catcher, Gedman. Is that a good word?
I'll put it this way. I hope he was crossed up.
Now the infield has to come in. Sambito will work off the stretch. Strawberry at third, nobody out. And a swing and a foul on a ball in on him, swinging on the 3-0 pitch. The right-hander in the bullpen. Stanley is ready to go if needed.
Yeah, in fact, he's got his arms folded now. He's just resting. He says, I'm not ready.
3-1 tonight. Mets 4 in the first, 2 in the 7th, threatening in the 8th, and leading 6-1. They have out-hit Boston 10-5. And here's the pitch. Swing and a ground ball, and it is fair past third. Drives in a run, makes it 7-1, and Knight will get a double. He hit it hard past the drawn-in Wade Boggs to drive home the run. That was an easy run for New York, and a single, a wild pitch, a pass ball, and an RBI double by Ray Knight, making the score 7-1.
Yeah, you can score quick like that when you're walking around on 2 pitches that you didn't even have to do anything on. You go to second on one and go to third on the next.
There's one fellow who relishes that run more than anybody in the park, and that's Bob Ojeda.
Absolutely. He knows this ballpark. He says, get me as many as you can.
Get me one more. Here comes John McNamara out of the dugout, apparently to make another move. Sparky Anderson was up in the booth before the game. I was talking to John McNamara. He said, get me a baseball. He tried to hit you with the ball up here in the booth, but he couldn't throw it this far.
Well, I was hoping he would have hit me because I tell you the truth, if he'd have hit me, I sue you.
Me?
For being with him, and then I sue Max very heavily.
So we have a pitching change for the Boston Red Sox. Is that Bob Stanley coming
That
out of
is
that?
Bob Stanley.
Zambito pitched to 2 batters, and he lost them both, and a runner is home, and another man at second, and nobody out. And while Bob Stanley warms up, let us pause for this word. Well, the New York Mets are spoiling the festivities here at Fenway Park, Mr. Anderson.
Well, I'll tell you what. Ojeda with a 7-1 lead. He's got a man on second base and no outs. He says, get me one more. 8 is great, and I can cruise with it.
The Mets go with Lee Mazzilli, the switch-hitting outfielder first baseman, batting for Danny Heap. Mazzilli gets a chance to hit, and he'll try to move Ray Knight off of second base. I'm really not sure whether Kevin Mitchell was announced. Was he?
It was announced, Jack, and he's hitting for Mitchell.
Okay, so it's Mazzilli for Mitchell with a runner at second and a swing and a foul by Mazzilli. Well, this is what John McNamara did not do the other night. Dave Johnson, the New York manager, is going for all he can get. 7-11. That's it for New York. 7 runs on 11 hits. Mazzilli here in the 8th after Kevin Mitchell was announced. Mazzilli really picked the long straw after bouncing around back to the National League. Here's a ground ball to second. The runner goes to third. The batter's out at first. Mazzilli can still run a bit. He made it close, but he's out. One gone. And a key man is Mookie Wilson trying to get the other runner home from third. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS Radio Network.
Whaler Mania is back. Catch it on the official radio station of the Hartford Whalers, WTIC 1080 Hartford.
Bob Stanley takes care of his first adversary, and the infielders come in and a swing and a foul by Mookie. He is 0 for 3 and 1 out of 9. Tomorrow night, Ron Darling and Al Nipper. And our broadcast time, 8:07 Eastern Time here on CBS Radio. Well, let's hope that the weather stays as sweet as it is.
This is beautiful weather.
The pitch goes inside, but on the corner to Wilson, who can't believe it, and that's strike 2. Wilson spins around in the batter's box, and Bob Stanley could use the strikeout, and he has a good out pitch.
The palm ball.
Here it is, and a swing and a foul out of play. 6 runs off of Boyd, 1 off of Zambito, who is accountable for the runner at third. That's Ray Knight with 1 out, top of the 8th. 7-1 New York, been ahead throughout after getting 4 in the first. The pitch. Wilson on a changeup hits a foul backing out of play. Well, they say you never want to throw a changeup when the batter is looking for the RBI on a fly ball.
Well, his palm ball, though, when it's right, it's really unhittable.
Gedman down to give the sign. The pitch from Stanley, and it's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Boston fans have had little reason to cheer. 1 run in the third. Wilson swings and fouls one off of his fist. Boston has stranded 6, hit into a double play. They've had 5 hits and been given 3 walks. Ray Knight, the runner at third, with 1 out. Stanley brings it. Wilson fouls it once more. And that keeps it 1-2. This inning started with a new pitcher, Joe Zambito, and a base hit by Strawberry, his first of the competition. And then Ray Knight doubled him home after a wild pitch and a pass ball. The big right-hander delivers. Wilson took it upstairs. Ball 2. The infielders, Boggs, Owen, Barrett, and Buckner all playing in. And another pitch. Swing and a miss. He got him with that palm ball for the second out. A big out to bring up Santana with a runner at third. A big out if you consider that the 6-run Met lead is not enough.
But it's still a big out because in this ballpark, you always think that something can happen.
Well, Win Elliott will be heading for some of the winners when this game is over. You'll hear it on our post-game show. Ball 1 to Santana. Santana has a hit tonight and 3 out of 9. He scored a run, started a rally in the 7th inning. There's a strike with a fastball, and it's 1-1. New York Mets with their Dykstra-Backman duo at the top of the batting order. Here's a bouncing ball back to the pitcher. Stanley did a good job. He throws him out. The inning is over. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. That's 5 stranded for New York. But as we go into the bottom of the 8th inning, the Mets are in great shape. They lead Boston by the score of 7-1. We have a new pitcher for the New Yorkers in place of Bob Ojeda, who pitched 7 innings, gave up 1 run, 5 hits, struck out 6, and walked 3. Roger McDowell comes into the game.
This is a great move by Davey Johnson. He had Ojeda out there, thrown quite a few pitches, went 7 innings. He knows he's going to probably have to bring him back in that 7th inning. McDowell's been outstanding for him. He's just going to let him go in and finish it up.
And with the days off that are scheduled in this series, why, there's little danger of wearing your bullpen out.
That's right.
So Zambito gave up 1 run. Boyd gave up 6. Ojeda gave up 1, and now it is Roger McDowell. He has the good sinker ball. Very aggressive pitcher. He'll knock batters off the plate. First up against him will be the right-handed batter, Marty Barrett, who has 2 hits tonight, 5 in the series. Bottom of the 8th, and the Red Sox trail by 6. Here's the pitch. In at the knees and a called strike 1. Boston Red Sox crowd with not much to cheer about. Already thinking about tomorrow night, and Al Nipper and Ron Darling. Next pitch. Inside for a ball. You'd have to say, Sparky, that the Mets have the edge in that pitching pairing tomorrow night.
Oh, absolutely. Darling's just an outstanding pitcher. He's been in 1 game now, so he's over that nervousness. Nipper, this will be his first time out, and hasn't pitched in about 3 weeks.
McDowell caught the outside corner and jumps ahead on the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. McDowell 114, and he's saved 22.
Oh, he's been just outstanding.
Into the windup he goes. Pitches. There's a ground ball. Hard hit to Hernandez to the pitcher covering for the out. And there's 1 gone. I've seen that scene so often of McDowell covering when Hernandez fields the ball because the pitching stuff of McDowell makes those hitters hit the ball the other way. When
that's a great sinker he has, Jack, and he makes them go that way. Another thing Davey's really doing great here. He's getting McDowell out there with a 7-1 lead, letting him get used to this mound, the atmosphere, and everything. So when he does have to bring him in a ball game where he has to get 1 or 2 guys out, he's used to it.
Now, took a strike as a good hitter will with his club trailing by 6. 7-1 in favor of the Mets. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Mets clamoring for their first win of the series, trying to make it 2-1 Boston. We'll play here again tomorrow night, and apparently on Thursday night. Open date Friday, and action in New York Saturday. Next pitch is up and in to Buckner. 1 ball, 1 strike. All of the games at night, and tomorrow night's broadcast time, 8:07 Eastern Time. Buckner trying to get on ahead of Jim Rice. Swing and a little tap. He'll be thrown out. McDowell takes his time and throws, and a good play by Hernandez for the out. Buckner Poor guy can't run a lick with those bad feet. A little tap to the right side, and McDowell, a very good fielder, jumped off. Made a low throw to Keith Hernandez, but he caught it for the out.
The thing that gets me, Jack, it looks like these Met infielders and the pitchers and all of them, they just try to get in the vicinity for Hernandez. Let him take care of the rest.
Well, as they say, when you're throwing it to first, as long as you don't zip it over the first baseman's head into the seats, he's got a chance.
Oh, he's outstanding.
The batter is Jim Rice with the bases empty, and that's a luxury for Roger McDowell. He can let Rice wail away and try to hit that sinker ball. Swing and a ground ball to third, and a big hop to Nate. His throw is good, and the inning is over. Down they go against McDowell in the 8th inning. An easy inning for the Met reliever. In there in relief of Bob Ojeda. Now we played 8. At the end of 8 innings, it is 7-1 in favor of the Mets. We'll be back in just a moment. Going to the 9th inning, 7-1 in favor of the Mets. And here's the little fellow who's had a great deal to do with the current reading on the scoreboard. Lenny Dykstra batting leadoff tonight. He started the game with a home run. And he got a base hit in the 5th. That was wasted, but he got a base hit in the 7th and scored a run. And he's had 3 out of 4, and he's had 4 out of 10. And he swings, hits it to deep short, and he'll beat it out. The throw is too late. And Dykstra is 4 out of 5 as he hit the ball the other way.
They're really starting to loosen up, Jack. You can see this now. That's first inning getting that 4 runs, and Dykstra did it by hitting a home run.
Dave Johnson caught heck for not working out yesterday. The media was disappointed. They were out here ready to descend on the New Yorkers, and they never showed up. Apparently, he did the right thing.
Usually they do, when they win a pennant, usually they know a little more than the rest of them.
You mean your managers know more than anybody?
Not me. I didn't win no pennant. I'm talking about the two that was, Mac and Davey. I wasn't nowhere.
Backman has a hit at 1 out of 4. Bob Stanley's the pitcher, and a strike is called. And do you look for Dykstra to run or not in a 7-1 game?
I say no.
Because the gentleman.
No, because they don't want Bachman injured.
Backman at the plate, switch hitter batting left. A dozen hits for New York now. And the pitch on the way. That's low, and it is 1-1. We had a little squabble in St. Louis when Vince Coleman stole a base against the Giants when the Cardinals were way ahead.
Cardinals don't have squabbles.
We had a little rumble on the field.
Oh, no.
Thought Roger Craig and Whitey Herzog were going to punch each other's lights out. Here's the pitch, and a bouncer to short. The play will be to second. That's the only play. And a fielder's choice puts Backman on at first. The play went from Owen to Barrett. 1 out.
What would they possibly be arguing about?
Well, the Giants took offense to the fact that the Cardinals were still trying to steal, and they were way ahead in the game.
Usually you just cart them off to the hospital.
Runner out at first and 1 out now. The batter is Hernandez. He is singled and walked. Grounded out, lined out, 1 for 3. And 2 out of 10. Backman is the runner. We're in the 9th, and it's 7-1 New York. And they're having a cakewalk here this evening thanks to the good pitching of Bob Ojeda at the outset. 7 innings and 1 perfect inning in relief by Roger McDowell. We are in the 9th. Ball 1-2 Hernandez. And the pitch. The strike is called, and at the knees from Stanley, the third pitcher of the night for Boston. One thing about it, if you're the Red Sox, Sparky, if the game ends with this sort of score, is there's nothing to keep you from sleeping at night, tossing and turning. You just bow in the direction of Ojeda and say, well, didn't matter what we did.
You just give him the credit, and you were beaten in the first inning, so why are you going to worry about it?
Sisk in the bullpen along with Orozco, right-hander and left-hander for New York. Here's the pitch. Hernandez swings, and a high foul out of play. He was taking a shot at the left field wall.
He sure was, Jack. He definitely was. When I see 2 guys throwing like that out, they're throwing for exercise.
We have a game here tomorrow night, and apparently another one to be played on Thursday. Hernandez, the batter, and Carter on deck. Carter has driven in 3 of the 7. Dykstra has had 4 of the 12 hits. They're the hitting stars for New York. Hernandez looked at it high, and a full count, 3-2. Well, this series is going to settle into something now.
I think it's going to settle into 7 games, is what it's going to settle into.
The Red Sox had the opportunity to drop the hammer tonight. 3-2 pitch and a smash into left past the diving Boggs. A hit for Hernandez. His second hit of the night, his 3rd time on base. And another safety for New York. And 2 men on for Gary Carter. They look normal now, don't they?
Yeah, they look like they've gotten over all that other great clippings and all the headlines and all that and said, now we better play baseball.
And the excitement and emotion of the Houston playoff. And the long trip back home and the celebration and trying to get into their ballpark and the media descending upon them. There's quite a bit to handle for these clubs. 2 on and 1 out. Carter takes a strike. I know, Sparky, that you don't like all of the press on the field before the game.
I can't understand why they allow the press period on the field. They should have a press conference at 4:30 for an hour to 5:30, and that's the end of it.
Bob Stanley from the belt to the plate to Carter, and he took it low. All the media do is stand around and talk to each other.
That's funny. I was going to say, Jack, you look down there and watch, and all they're talking to each other. They don't even bother to talk to the players.
And the players are busy anyhow. And most of the players tried to hide. 2 on and 1 out here in the 9th. The 1-1, and Carter hits a double play ball to short. Out at second and out at first, and the score stays 7-1. Carter hits into a 6-4-3 double play. Owen to Barrett and on to Buckner. No runs and 2 hits and 1 left. The Mets left a half a dozen in the game. And let's see if McDowell goes back out to the mound. Or is Jesse Orozco going to come in and get a little work? No, Orozco continues to throw. We go into the bottom of the 9th inning, and the Mets lead the Red Sox 7-1. The New York Mets scored 4 times in the first inning, and as we go into the bottom of the 9th inning, they have out-hit Boston 13-5 and lead 7-1 with Roger McDowell on the mound. We are hopeful that on Win Elliott's post-game show here on CBS Radio, you'll make connections with and be able to visit with Lenny Dykstra, who's had 4 hits tonight and started this game with a home run and kind of set the tone for the evening.
Yes, he has. That home run that started off, that just took all the weight right off of the Met ball club.
Dykstra, by the way, comes from a hockey-playing family. Tony Leswick and others in the Leswick family were outstanding hockey players. Tony with the Rangers, the Red Wings, the Blackhawks. Dykstra is from California, though, and he's not a hockey player. But he's going to be around this league, the National League, for a while.
Yeah, well, just keep him over there, because I don't want him coming over to the American League.
Don Baylor leads it off against Roger McDowell, who is working with a 6-run lead. Baylor takes a pitch inside. He is a fearless hitter.
Stands right on top of the plate, Jack, and he doesn't budge away at all.
He has 1 of the 5 Boston hits. 1 for Boggs, 2 for Barrett, 1 for Baylor, and 1 for Henderson. In addition, there have been 3 walks given to Boston, so 5 hits and 3 walks has been their attack this evening. There have been no errors in the game, and the Mets are 3 outs away from posting their first victory in the '86 series. The pitch, swing and a miss. Mets won 108 and 4 from Houston. They are seeking their 113th win of the year. You've got to be pretty good.
You have to be able to play a little bit.
Baylor leading it off for Boston. Swing and a foul. Imagine that even in a lopsided score, a lot of these Boston fans stay around just for the fun of watching a ball sail into that screen out there if it happens.
Well, there's quite a few of them staying around, but I've noticed they're missing a lot of the souls, too.
Roger McDowell relieved Ojeda in the 8th and set. The Red Sox down in order. And he's ahead on the count, pitching to Don Baylor. The pitch to Baylor and another foul. Well, there's so many obligations of the commissioners and the league presidents and the other teams and the players in both of the leagues. A lot of those tickets disappear before the public gets a crack at them. Now, if you want to solve the problem, the commissioner is right down there in the booth, Mr. Anderson. And
for a funny reason, Jack, I got enough problems. I'm not solving the Detroit Ball Club.
Here's a foul back to the screen by Baylor. He's not getting many good swings, but he stays alive.
He's staying alive, and I have a feeling that if I would make that suggestion, that the commissioner would tell me, you're having a lot of problems yourself. Try to solve those first.
But you have good club. How many games did you win?
We win 87 games, but don't matter what you win. We was in third, Jack.
Into the windup, McDowell trying to get the leadoff hitter in the ninth, and a line drive foul into the seats, and don't try to catch that one, and it stays 1-2.
That's what you were talking about earlier about Baylor. He rifles them in there.
If I'm going to sit down there, I'm going to bring a glove and give it to the guy next to me.
Yeah, that's right. Give it to your wife, Carol.
Somebody who's
Carol handler. She probably can pick everything.
Nobody on or out in the bottom of the ninth. 7-1 in favor of New York. They've had a cakewalk. Swing and a foul tip. He got another piece of it. Baylor really battling Roger McDowell. I know what would happen during the regular season with this at-bat with McDowell right now. He would zip him. I kind of think that sometimes with all of the attention on a World Series game that pitchers work a little differently.
Yeah, they
I mean, if this was in Pittsburgh on a Tuesday night, he'd knock somebody down right here.
That's not nice, though.
Don Baylor waiting. He got a double his first time at bat. Next pitch. And low and away makes it 2-2.
You know how all the scouts, Moselli and Ray Shore and Yuri Alexander and all those guys would be talking? 2 years ago, Ray Shore told me about this kid McDowell. He said, they got a kid in New York. If you ever get a chance to get him, grab him. I wish that I paid some more attention to it.
And he came up with a bad arm and came back very strongly. Here's a bouncing ball to third. Foul. Fielded by Knight. Foul ball. Baylor has been batting for 7 minutes.
Yeah, 7 minutes. Don't you have a strange feeling, though, that Ray was telling me about somebody that they would kind of laugh at you if you even mentioned the name? I get that feeling from watching him pitch that he wouldn't go nowhere.
Nobody on or out in the bottom of the ninth. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count. Don Baylor with a long, hard battle against Roger McDowell. Ojeda pitched 7. He was in command all the way. Next pitch from the right-hander. Swing and another foul. Hard hit past third. And it stays 2-2. Baylor has a few years on him, but this is a perfect role for him as a DH for the Red Sox.
Ideal, and I'll say one thing about Don. He's been a tremendous influence on this ball club in the clubhouse. He really has.
And at the plate where he blasted 31 home runs. McDowell having a tough time getting him out. Here it comes, and it's a ball low outside. The thing about McDowell is he doesn't change speeds very often. Everything he throws is hard, and that's why he's having trouble with Baylor.
From what I've seen of that sinker, I keep it coming hard.
That's the way he works. Tomorrow night, it will be Nipper and Darling. Here's the pitch. Baylor chops another one foul. It bounced up and hit him. Still 3-2. This is a record for longevity. And Gary Carter got something in his eye. I remember when Gary Carter was playing the outfield for the Montreal Expos. He was really champing at the bit, wanting to stay in the lineup every day and get behind the plate. Some piece of property.
Not bad.
A full count of 3-2. McDowell with another new ball. Baylor, Evans, and Gedman in this inning. New York bullpen is quiet. Here's the pitch. Swing and a hard hit ball to third. Knight has it cleanly. His throw is good. And there's one out. That's 4 in a row. 4 in a row for McDowell. The batter is Dwight Evans. We have the Mets leading 7-1 in the bottom of the ninth with one out. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the CBS radio network.
Hear all the action between the Mets and the Red Sox on the official radio station of the 1986 World Series, WTIC 1080 Hartford.
0 for 3 for Dwight Evans. Ball one inside. Outfielders are straight away. The center fielder Dykstra is deep. Here's the pitch. Swinging a fly ball into right field. Chased by Strawberry. He's there. He has it for the out, and that's 5 in a row by McDowell. And the Mets are within one out of their first 86 series victory. More fans head for the exits. 33,595 paid here tonight. And it'll be a comparable crowd tomorrow evening to watch Darling and Nipper, two right-handers. That means New York will go again with their Dykstra-Beckman lineup at the start of the order. The batter is Rich Gedman. 0 for 3 against the left-hander, Ojeda, and now ball one from McDowell. So it's not going to be a sweep. And the Mets may get action back in their home park. A bouncer to second. Beckman fields it and throws, and that's a New York winner. And 6 in a row by McDowell. 7-1, the final score. Don't go away. Win Elliott is standing by. The final score, the Mets 7, Boston 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Red Sox